Hello, welcome back to another episode of Pole Position, the podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Holmes. We've got a full house once again. We've got Raph Stitt. You might know him from the Canon podcast. Romona Comet, Val Morreale, frequent guests here. Val also just did our first Screen Age Wasteland exclusives interview with the director of New Fear's Eve. Is that right?
Yep, New
Um,
Year's Eve.
and that's a new channel under the Saw brand. We're diversifying, growing. Give it a like, subscribe. Also, give this channel a like and subscribe. This is where we are. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. We want to interact. So, um, this is the 15th episode of season one of Pole Position. We are quickly getting to the end of season one of Pole Position, which we will end hopefully with a live watch along party of the Oscar ceremony on March the 15th. If
Woo-woo.
technology does not cooperate with us, we will be filming our live reactions to the ceremony and posting that video shortly after as our hardware will physically allow us to do so. So thank you guys for joining me. This is an exciting episode because we are in season one, but this is really kind of a season two forward episode because we're not thinking about uh, one battle after another or centers or what they're doing in a month. We are here to make our way, way, way too early predictions for 2026 Best Picture nominees. Um, I will still be doing a write up the week after the Oscars ceremony with my official put it down on paper picks, but we didn't want to wait that long for this podcast. One, because we're kind of in the doldrums between the nominees being announced and the awards. It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot left in this season to really talk about. And also because there's movies coming out every weekend. And the earlier we do this, the more skin we have in the game, I feel. I specifically wanted to get this out before Wuthering Heights, which we will talk about at some point on this podcast. And so we have succeeded in that. So the way that this is going to work is we each have a list of 10 for the 10 nominees that there will be, and I'm going to just popcorn back and forth. We'll each give a nominee on the list, see who else has it on the list, talk about it a little bit, and then move on to the next category. But before we jump into Best Picture, we are going to take one quick minute to talk about Best Animated Feature because that's one of the races I'm really excited about this year. It was really lackluster in this season that we're still ending up right now. But next season looks really good. And so I just wanted to talk through it really quick. Uh, do y'all know about what's going to be in the best animated lineup next year?
I know about Wildwood, and that is probably the one I'm the most excited about.
Yes, Ramona Raft. Do you know what Wildwood is?
Nope.
Nope.
Have you
Okay,
seen
so
Kubo and the Two Strings?
Yeah.
Nope.
Same
Very
studio.
cool movie. Nice.
have you
Nice.
seen Coraline? Ramona?
Yes.
Okay, Wildwood is the
I do
latest
like
from Leica
Coraline.
Studios. Was supposed to
Oh,
come
fun.
out this past year. Was a front runner for best animated feature this past year and was delayed
Oh,
to 2026.
okay.
So yes, it's based on a book and it is a fun, dark adventure fantasy girl in the forest with a big eagle that talks and they have to save their brother or whatever. It's like perfect like Leica vibes. Val, I don't know if you
Okay.
know any more about it than that, but it looks awesome.
It looks like it has a pretty good cast. I was surprised to see Jacob Tremblay, who I think has been great in everything I've seen
Yeah.
him in. I know he's like an older teen, probably early 20s now, which is
Oh,
crazy.
don't say that.
Um, but the cast looked great. I know it's going to look really good. Like you said, like Kubo and the Two Strings, Coraline, both great movies
Ooh.
that look phenomenal. Um, yeah, I expect really good things.
Oh, Carrie Mulligan. Nice.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
stacked
dang.
voice
Yeah, this cast
cast
is stacked. Yeah.
for sure. And then the just by the nature of like Leica Studios hasn't had a best animated feature win, I don't think. So I think they're due,
It's kind of surprising.
and I think they're maybe entering the season as the front runner. The competition to Wildwood that I'm excited about is Ray Gun, the
Very good.
passion project of Brad Bird,
Heard.
who apparently developed Ray Gun before Iron Giant and pitched
Oh
it to Warner
wow.
Brothers, and they
Oh,
were like, "Can you do Iron Giant instead?" And he's like, "Sure," and then just made like a classic Iron Giant film. Then he went to Pixar and was like, "Hey, you want to make Ray Gun?" And they're like, "Can you make Incredibles?" And he was like, "Okay." And then he
it
made
just
The
made
Incredibles.
nothing but winners.
Yeah.
And then they were like, he was still working with Pixar, and they're like, "Hey, this other director was doing Ratatouille. We need you to step in." And he's like, "Okay," and he makes Ratatouille. Um, as good as I don't know how much of that was Brad Bird, to be fair, but and he's also made Incredibles 2, and he's also gone outside of animation and done Tomorrowland, and
Mhm.
which is not as good. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, which some people enjoy. So,
I
but
thought it was good.
in the realm of animation, Brad Bird is basically his worst miss was Incredibles 2, which is not a bad miss at all. I mean, it's pretty much
Yeah.
Yeah,
a good
still pretty
movie.
good.
It's not as good as Incredibles or Iron Giant, whatever.
Or
So
Ratatouille.
Ray Gun apparently follows the last human detective in a world of humans, robots, and aliens. It's like a retro futuristic setting, kind of like Incredibles, and it's noir, and apparently it's a
Sounds
little more adult, which is why it probably didn't get picked up previously. And so he finally, I guess, got the power to just be like, I'm going to get this movie made. So finally, like Netflix, I think helped with the production. Skydance is involved to some degree. It was going to be in 2D. He
okay.
tried to do it in 2D, but it was going to be so expensive. He did. It is in 3D, but 3D is in CGI, not 3D,
Hmm.
whatever. But I think it's probably gonna have like that Spider Verse or Puss in Boots type quality is my guess
Yeah.
because
Oh
they
well,
said that they could
that's
still
awesome.
complete like the vision. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Passion projects go wrong sometimes for directors, but Brad Bird
Yeah.
is like my guy, and it sounds awesome, and it sounds like it's made a little more for adults, which is just great. Like, so, but did anybody know about Ray Gun? Because like no one's talking about
I
it.
did not, and this actually sounds very similar to an incredible animation project that was dumped straight to Netflix called Pluto. But definitely sounds incredible,
Yeah.
right up my alley. So I'll definitely be checking it out.
Hmm.
Then there's a
I've
third.
heard
There's a
about it, but
it's like no one's talking about it because it's not Disney and it's not Pixar and it's not
yeah.
Leica, so it's just kind of under the radar. But there's a third contender. There was a third contender in this race that should have been in this race, and I am so mad.
Hmm.
And this is not Wasteland After Dark, which we're still working on, so I'm not going to use coarse language for this. But I have the
Steph Curry's
studio,
goat movie.
the studio executives at Paramount that had decided The Legend of Aang is no longer going to be a theatrical film and go straight to Paramount Plus. Have
Oh.
What?
all of my fury. Yeah. They
Are you
Paramount has
serious?
said,
I did not
yep.
hear this yet. It's not. I was gonna go see it in theaters like a little
y-
weeb, and now my dreams are ruined.
That's
Ugh.
y-
awesome. It's awesome how much billionaires who run streaming services like don't understand the business of movies, because that is like the easiest way to make millions of dollars.
Yeah, like,
Like
do you understand how many people love The Last Airbender? Like,
millennials who have income, who want to go see a nostalgic thing in theaters, like maybe some of them have kids of their own. That
Yeah.
is like an easy like 500 to $700 million that they're just like farting away, and like you're gonna make that up in people paying for Paramount Plus streaming
Mm-mm.
like
no.
packages. Like no, the package costs $6 as opposed to so many more people would spend 20 or $15 or whatever it is to go see a movie. Like that is just so bizarrely
So
asinine.
dumb.
Yeah.
I
A
hate
few
it.
people, to be fair, a few people said, well, maybe the project as it's come along and it's getting ready for release, maybe it's like not as good, and they don't want to put it in theaters because it's not really worthy of the big screen.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
Cora wasn't as good either, and a lot of people still really liked it.
People release
So,
bad movies in theaters all the
I
time,
was gonna
and those
say, do
movies
you know how
still
many
make.
movies
Yeah.
are
especially
terrible that go?
like even if the Legend of Aang is god awful, like why wouldn't you put that one in theaters while it's still going to make money because people don't know that the new stuff is god awful yet? Like there's still like hope
they hate
at
money,
that.
apparently.
Apparently, maybe they'll reverse the decision, but a campaign needs to be made. And then in the animated race, then you have Toy Story 5, which obviously is a big Pixar push, and Hoppers. So Pixar has two separate movies coming out next year, two options to get in the race. Um, and that's before we even get to stuff like DreamWorks. Um,
Isn't Shrek coming out this year?
Next year, I think.
Is it next year?
okay, I was gonna say, is there
Okay.
another Shrek coming out?
There
Yeah,
hard
is,
for
but
me.
it's
unfortunately.
listed as 2027, at least on
Yeah.
Google.
Okay, it would be hard for me to imagine another Shrek movie getting in the best animated feature race. I mean, maybe, and even really, I don't know. Maybe another Puss in Boots could. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of it wrong, but I'm like, there's so many Shreks now, and they've had dwindling quality. I guess maybe you could have a return to form. Toy Story,
Mhm.
obviously, I think all four of those have been in Best Picture previously, so it's hard to rule out Toy Story 5. And Toy Story 5 looks like maybe it's a little better story. I didn't like. I think Toy Story 4 is okay, but when you put it like
Mhm.
in line with the franchise, I think it's like really bad. I think it's really
What
bad
do
when
you
it
think
does too.
about?
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to ask, what did you think about Coyote v Acme?
I'm really excited for Coyote v Acme. It was in my list of 26 most anticipated for 2026. Um, it'll be interesting to see if it qualifies for best animated
Hmm.
because the rule is like certain percentage of animation, and so he's a Coyote is a cartoon character in a live action world, so I'm not sure. But Marcel the Shell qualified,
Yeah,
so I don't know. It's a really blurry line that's hard for me to like understand where. Of course, the animated race. I mean, there's the 20,
yeah, I think
the
Space Jam
20.
qualified. Same sort of thing.
Yes, although there was a lot of animated. They did go to like Looney Tune World and
That's
stuff a lot
true.
It's
in
a real
Space
Yeah.
person in
Jam.
an animated world versus
Yeah, you're right.
animated
You're right. You're
character
right.
in a real world.
I just think of Roger Rabbit every time you guys talk about that. I'm like, Roger Rabbit. It's the only one I
Yeah,
know.
where does that one fall?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
I don't
It's
know.
that's
really
really
We'll
kind
see.
of both worlds really well. So
it's
Yeah,
really
you've
hard to
got
put a
cartoons in the real world, and you've got real folks in
real
the
world,
cartoon world.
cartoon world. Yep.
Yeah,
Toontown.
Toontown.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
oh
it
yeah.
depends on what the Oscar folks think about that. And then Disney's got one I think called Hexed.
I did
DreamWorks I
see
think has
that.
Oh
something called
yeah. Yeah.
Forgotten Island or Forbidden Island or something, and then
Mm.
Netflix probably has something that we don't know about that could come out. So there's going to be a lot there. I think there might be a new Shaun the Sheep movie, which is
Oh,
also, I
that'd
Aw,
be
mean,
I
fun.
love those
that
movies.
could qualify. So I don't think we're going to have. The point is, I don't think we're going to have a dearth in the animated race the way we did last season. So it won't
Yeah.
just steamroll and be boring like K-pop Demon Hunters. Okay. Um. All right. I guess I will go first on the best picture conversation, just because I am the host of the show, technically. Um.
Do it.
Let me pull up my award expert app. Thanks to the Oscar expert and Brother Bro. If you don't know who they are, they are Oscar pundits, probably the most popular Oscar pundits on YouTube. And Brother Bro built the award expert app, um, and it's awesome and it's great. And everyone that seriously does this uses it. So cool. So there's a few obvious contenders that I think we're all going to have on our list, and one in particular
Yeah.
that's dominating the conversation. I'm not going to talk about that one right now because
Okay.
I have one that I hope that I'm hopeful is going to be really good and win. Um, so the past few years, there's been a tendency to like, so with Oppenheimer, it was this big sweep for Christopher Nolan and like give Christopher Nolan and Oppenheimer all the awards. And then with Nora, it was give Sean Baker and Nora all the awards. And then this year it's looking like Paul Thomas Anderson. And then there was Everything Everywhere, which was not like these two guys are past their due. It was just a movie sweep, not so much a director. But I think that bodes well for this film. And the film is Wild Horse 9, the new
Yes.
film from writer director Martin McDonagh, who I did a little research. Can you believe that Martin McDonagh has not won a single Oscar except for a short film? He won an Oscar for a short film that he did, and other than that, he has not won. So this would
Hmm.
be the first opportunity for Martin McDonagh to actually win an Oscar. Obviously, he's been nominated quite a bit. Um, I believe he was nominated for screenplay for both Banshees of Inisherin and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and I think he might have
What
been
did
nominated
Banshees
for
lose to?
direct. Um, I think he might have been nominated. Banshees lost Everything Everywhere. I think,
Which is
Raph.
Oh.
crazy considering how good that movie is.
I mean, yeah, it's a
I
that was a
liked
tough
it.
Banshees.
I
Banshee.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't know that was controversial. I really liked it.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I
my look was more for how did Everything Everywhere All at Once as a screenplay win over Banshees.
Banshees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Everything Everywhere. Like in the moment, like in 2023, I was like, this is what 2023 is all about. But now looking back on it, if I'm just thinking of like which movie had the better screenplay, I
Yeah.
would say Banshees has like sat with me more.
and I will
Yeah, it
say
has
that I
some great
think
performances too.
there's what's the best original screenplay, then like what's the most original screenplay, and so Everything Everywhere was like the most original. It was like a crazy concept that was. I mean, I think it was worthy. Everything Everywhere is one of my favorites, but we're here to talk about Wild Horse 9 in particular.
Yeah.
So Martin McDonagh, uh, a great director. The Academy obviously loves him. They love his works. Um, and I don't know if this one, but you would have to expect that it's going to be a Best Picture nominee. I don't think In Bruges was a Best Picture nominee, but that was like his first real out of the box movie. And then since then, of course, Three Billboards and Banshees were both nominated. Wild Horse 9, I did see like one or two things from a test screening that maybe it's like his best work. Of course, you can't take a test screening for much, but the person that
Mhm.
saw it, I believe that the person really saw the test screening and that they really believed it was like classic Martin McDonagh and just maybe the best of his work. Whether I'll agree with that is another story, but apparently John Malkovich is incredible in this. So he could be in the best actor race. It's also got Steve Buscemi and Parker Posey. Um,
It's a great cast.
and does it
Sam
have
Rockwell.
Sam? Yeah,
Sam
let's say
Rockwell.
Sam
Love
Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell.
And really
Yeah.
interestingly, like Buscemi's role was previously going to be for like Oscar Isaac or Mark Ruffalo. Like they were initially attached to that role, and now it's Steve Buscemi, which is like fascinating to me. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a stacked cast. It's like a perfect cast to play in McDonald's world, and it takes place on Easter Island. That's all that we really know. I saw something about maybe it's CIA agents on Easter
I saw that
Island,
too.
um, which is just classic McDonough. But I'm a big fan of his work. He hasn't really had his moment in the Oscars race, so I think this could be it because one of the other ones that we're going to talk about inevitably on this podcast in a minute has already had his dues, and so I don't know. That would almost be the front runner if not for that. So, do you all have Wild Horse 9 on your list?
I
I did
do.
not.
Yeah. I had it on mine.
Okay, so me and Ramona have it. Val does not have
Yeah.
it. Raph, did you have Wild Horse 9?
No, I don't.
Okay, so we're 50-50.
I think you know that I'm kind of mid on McDonough. I think when he's operating within his wheelhouse, he's an incredible writer. I think he's an okay director. I think Banshees is like among his best work. That's like right in his wheelhouse. I'm just kind of scared that CIA crime thriller in Easter Island is like very outside of his wheelhouse. Like I'm just like, dude, stick to Irish people. Just stick to the island of Ireland, and like you will make amazing stuff. And just like focus on the writing and working with actors who you trust. But like I don't know that he has the directorial juice for me to like consider this a real contender. Although it probably will be because we know that the Academy likes him,
Yeah.
even though Three Billboards sucks.
Wow.
Okay,
Strong
well,
opinion.
so two have it, two don't. That's an interesting start. Um, we've already knocked one off Ramona's list, so let's go to Val. What
Okay.
is your first one that you'd like to call out?
Well, this one to me feels like an obvious one, but it also feels like one that might have some cultural staying power. I mean, I think it's definitely just going to be one of the crowd pleaser picks for the most part, and that is Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 3.
Yeah.
And I think Timothée Chalamet will get nominated for Best Actor again. And maybe we'll get Zendaya this time because she plays a bigger role in this one. So maybe she'll get Best Actress with Shawnee playing a bigger role. Who can say?
I feel like if she's gonna get anything, it'd be for the drama. But
That's true. The other person who's going to play a big role, if it's based on the book, is uh, shoot, uh,
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh.
oh
Yeah.
I'm
yeah, give her
blanking on her name
everything.
for a second. Florence Pugh's character is very
Yeah.
big in that portion of the story, at least in Frank Herbert's Dune Messiah. So I would expect she'll
Hmm.
probably be in talks as well.
I would be okay with that.
It's not bad if we get Zendaya and Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
spoilers for a 70-year-old book, I guess. I mean, supporting actor, Jason Momoa could happen.
Really? Why did I think he died in the first one?
Because he did.
Oh,
I haven't read
didn't see
Messiah
it.
yet. I thought it was
Just
later.
don't worry about the hows and whys, but he will be in
Okay.
this. He's already been like in interviews being like, "Oh, I can't wait." So like, I mean,
Oh
it's kind of
no!
spoiled the surprise, but
Oh my god!
yeah,
I was going over my list with my husband, and I mentioned I have Dune on my list too, and he was like, "Wait, did you just say Dune Part 3?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "How many of those are they making?" And it's like, it's a trilogy. There's only 3.
yeah. I mean, they
Um,
could go into Children of Dune. I don't think they will. I think like Denis Villeneuve is into the Paul Atreides story, and he's not really,
yeah, he's
at
not going to
least now.
expand. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I have that
Raph,
on my list
do
as
you have
well.
Dune on your list?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dune is my number 3.
I am currently taking a weird swing and not having Dune on my list. Hello.
You didn't
um,
put Dune on your top 10.
so surprisingly, so first of all, I get to have a little extra fun on this one because I have a formal written version of this coming, like I said, in March. And two of the movies on my list will have been seen and like thoroughly reviewed. Now I have a better understanding. So here's the
So it
deal.
might change.
Here's the deal. Dune Part Two at Screen Age Wasteland is considered like basically probably if you polled Screen Age Wasteland folks, I mean we called Dune Part Two the best picture of that year, right? But
Yeah.
but the Academy went crazy almost to the level of Wicked Two on snubbing Dune, and then Wicked came along, and Wicked was obviously like not a good movie. Wicked for Good was not good like Dune Two, but the Academy like Wicked for Good should have gotten into at least costumes, probably production
Yeah,
design, and like either a song or like hair. It should not have been blanked.
not
Um,
song. There
it
was
should
too
not
much
have. No,
stiff
I didn't love
competition
the
there.
songs. It's fine, but it should not have blanked, and the Academy blanked
Yeah.
it. And I, Dune Messiah. The word on the street, I haven't read it, is that Dune Messiah gets weird, and they're already kind of ignoring Dune.
Incorrect.
They're already kind of ignoring Dune for being a little too hard sci-fi for them. And I don't know that if
Well, yeah,
Dune
that's
3 just if Dune 3, I mean Dune
Well,
Part
Dune
2
Part
ends
2
with
was
like
supposed to be pretty out there as well, and Denny made it like really digestible for like normal
yeah.
audiences.
I
sure,
I don't think
although
He can do the
it
same thing with
like
3.
it depends on how weird we're talking, because like when we get to like God Emperor, which is the book after Children of Dune, that's when like Paul Atreides, like I think it's grandson, like turns into the worm. Like we're not going into weird territory. Like we're staying relatively grounded. I think, and I think you're right that some of the messier elements of the book, Denny has done a pretty good job just kind of sanding those over and
There's
making
like a
them
I
more
there's a really
cohesive.
clear vision in terms of like where it's going to go, especially with the Zendaya part. Like we know
Yeah.
that it's going to be focused on her based on what the first 2 movies were. So also Denny's like a way better director than John M. Chu. Sorry, Jacob, but like we could compare the 2, but like one is directed by a like immense talent and one is directed by a guy.
I don't want anyone coming away from this thinking that your apologies because I think John M. Chu is a better director than Denis Villeneuve. Like
Just when you're comparing the 2 and you're like,
I
well,
know, I
Wicked
know,
Part 2
but
got
I'm
shut
not
out, so
I'm not
here's why Dune
comparing
Part 3 could
them
get shut out. But like one
right,
is
but I'm not
made
comparing
by
them on my
yeah,
assessment of them. I'm just talking about
I
the
just want to clear that up for
Academy.
you. When I'm
The Academy is we're trying to understand what the Academy does with sequels. And they could, maybe
Yeah.
some people's hope, best case scenario is that Doom Messiah is treated like Return of the King, right? And that they're like, okay, this is the end of the
Where they're
trilogy,
just
so
waiting
now
for
we're
the
going to honor
yeah.
Denis, because Denis been denied twice for these movies. They don't have any above the
Mhm.
line acting. I don't think that's going to get any acting noms, just because unless something
Really? Not even for
wildly change
Timmy?
Performance.
unless something wildly changes, like Timmy is good in this role, but I feel this, and I think a lot of people at the Academy seem to agree. The delivery, the character doesn't provide the best like delivery that makes you go, oh. I mean, some people do. Some people do with Paul Atreides.
Hmm.
I'm not hating on that, but there's a level of it where it's just like, oh, I am the least. Like, no, I have to do. Yeah, it's all very. The problem with Dune for a lot of people is that it's dry. I mean, we're talking about a desert
Yeah.
movie. It's dry and
Yeah.
it's dense, and some people just don't
Yeah.
connect with that. And if you add a
Yeah.
little bit of
It's
sequel
true. Yeah.
fatigue and you add a little bit of this movie is like continuing, even if Messiah is a little weirder than Dune 2, Dune is already in this weird space for the Academy where it's on that line of being too weird. And they've done Dune, every 2 years. So like, and then Avatar also blank. Of course, Avatar Fire and Ash also very bad, for the most part. So like, but I'm thinking about these things, and to be fair, I'm also like, Dune Part 3 is like my number 11, and I'm cheating a little bit because it's still showing up on my 10 on my award expert, but I made a change mentally to put it out because of the other things. It's like the one thing I could trade out, and
I
it'll
think the
make more
biggest
sense.
thing that could stop Dune from being nominated is if they budge on the release date and if they're just like, okay, Avengers Doomsday is going to make $1 billion, so instead of December 17th, we're going to push to March, and then it's just like not going to be in the window of
Ooh.
2026 movies to be nominated. But like, I have all the faith in the world that Denis is like going to make something cool. Um, Val, like you were saying, I think the focus on Zendaya has been like very clear, and it's going to be even clearer in this movie, and like that could be the acting nomination that we get. Um, and I do think that it's trending more towards like Return of the King treatment rather than anything else, especially based on like the other movies that are going to be on all of our lists. Like when you think about the competition, like, okay,
I will.
we're gonna
I will.
we're gonna celebrate Martin McDonagh instead of Dune Part 3. That is just like amazing cinematic achievement from Denny, who's been working on this for like his entire life in the last like
Look,
15 years for these movies specifically. I don't
we
know.
can give flowers to Denis Villeneuve without trampling on Martin McDonough. Okay, we all feel the same way about him that you do, Raph. All right,
I'm coming with
let's
takes tonight.
look.
Hot
We're gonna
takes.
have takes. I don't think it's trending that way to Return of the King status because of what Doom Part 2 like. Clearly, the Academy was disconnected. Maybe they'll correct that. So I wouldn't say it's trending. I would say they would have to correct it, right? Because they're not trending
Mhm.
towards Return of the King. They're on the decline with Dune. They would have to boomerang back and say, okay, we made a mistake. We need to honor this last Dune. Anyway,
Yeah. The only last thing I'll say about that is I agree with everything you're saying, but I also just kind of want to believe. And that was sort of shaped my list, and that like I really like didn't include things that I just didn't want to include. And included things I wanted to. So I would love to see this happen. And
I
that
talked to
kind of
Raph
shaped my view.
before. I was chatting with Raph on Slack before we this week as we were getting ready to do this, and um I've given myself the freedom too since I'm doing that later list. I'm also letting being influenced to a degree by like what I kind of want to see versus like I could go even way safer than I've gone with this list because I also want to be right. I really want to be right, and I'm like
Hmm.
trying my best to dial in, and but it's also it's a fool's errand at this point in the stage. So let's move on to Raf. So because Raph only has one off of his list so far. Ramona just keeps getting hers. Maybe hold on. Maybe we should go to Ramona before we just keep on taking her whole list away. Actually, this is me as
I
a
will
host
say,
realizing midstream like Ramona's never going to talk about her movies. She's just going to
no,
keep getting
I'm just
them.
gonna be like, I have that too.
Yeah,
No, but I will say, up until the first Dune came out, um, my entire life I was confusing Dune with Doom. Do you remember that movie, Doom? With
Like the
the
video
nasty
game
blobby
movie?
thing? No, it's like the blob thing. Come on, somebody knows this movie, right? Doom? No? Okay, I'm showing my age. Uh, it's this weird ass. I saw it when I was a wee little child.
Now I'm looking it up because I could only think of like I think it was in the 2000s, the video game
No, this
movie
was not
Doom.
that Doom. This was something. I'm gonna have to text my parents and be like, "What movie did you make me watch when I was way too young?" And it was traumatic. It was a big blobby thing. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But I thought that was the same movie until I was like, "Why is there so much desert in this movie?" And I realized it was something different. I was not a sci-fi reader much back in the day, but yeah, I got Timothy fatigue. So anyway, so I have. So I'm hoping we don't see him next year. I'm going to talk about a movie that none of you have probably heard of, and I had to dig deep for this one. And
Okay.
it's called The Odyssey. Yeah.
Okay,
Apparently,
that was good.
apparently, some guy named Christopher Nolan. This must be his first film, but this is actually one that I know everyone's saying is a front runner because of the epicness of it. But I'm actually really looking forward to this movie. Um, the cast is pretty great. I think a lot of teenage girls went through their Greek mythology stage in, middle school and high school before their Wicca stage. And so I just feel like it was, reading the Odyssey. I actually enjoyed it in high school. And then I don't know. I just feel like out of all the directors that could embark on this, I think Christopher Nolan, I know, I guess there's some kind of feeling that people don't like Christopher Nolan on the website, but
that would be
I
bad.
enjoy his movies, so I am actually really looking forward to seeing his take on this. So
Well,
I'm good
there
with
is
it.
one other director we've already talked about that could do a better job than Christopher Nolan with this. Of course,
Martin
Martin McDonough.
McDonough.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
not Denny. Okay.
I mean, he could. Yeah, I could see that actually.
Denny
Yeah,
Villeneuve could probably do the Odyssey. I would trust him.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
yeah,
exactly trust Christopher Nolan, though this is on my
yeah.
list.
I think it looks really interesting. So I saw the trailer for the first time, I think, last weekend when I went to the theater, and I hadn't seen the trailer yet. But just seeing it on the big screen, and I don't know, I'm intrigued. So
I mean, it looks good to me, and um, just the nature of the movie itself sets it up to be an Oscar frontrunner. It's got a stacked cast. Um,
hmm
will Matt Damon be in Best Actor? That's kind of weird for me to think about. Matt Damon
I
as
think
Best
so.
Actor in this,
Yeah.
but you know,
If we're shutting the
um,
Dune folks out, we got to shut the Odyssey
I'm
folks
saying
out.
we can shut him out, but I'm saying I think he, based on this movie's going to make money. Okay,
Yes.
so and it's Christopher Nolan who just got his flowers with Oppenheimer and all that, so it's fine. But you're going to have this big movie that no doubt will be nominated probably for several Oscars. I guarantee that Matt Damon gets a nomination. Even if he doesn't deserve it, he's gonna get it. Like I
Yeah.
don't yeah, I see it happening. So I'm gonna take that one to the
like
bank
a like a
right
Michael B.
today.
Jordan, like a Michael B. Jordan type nom.
Yeah, yeah. He's not gonna win, but it's gonna be like, you know
I
what?
was
You carried the
I
movie.
get
Good
what you
Well,
guys are
job.
Rob and I
saying,
had the
but
same reaction.
I cannot see. Oh, okay, well, I'm definitely in the minority here, but I don't see a world where the Odyssey is as mind blowing as Sinners was. Like,
No,
Yeah,
no, no, absolutely
definitely.
not.
so
But
I think
Michael
Michael B.
B.
Jordan
Jordan
was.
was not gonna win for Sinners. Like they're
Yeah, but he
nominating
was
him.
propelled because that movie like blew everyone's minds because we
Yeah,
like weren't expecting something and then we got something incredible. Where like
got
here it's just
something.
like, oh, okay, Christopher Nolan is like gonna do a Christopher Nolan movie, which like we
But
all
Matt
like know
Damon's gonna
what
get
that
a
means.
nomination.
So we're not. It's not gonna be something that's like totally blowing our minds and then like
No,
that kind of like rising tide lifts all boats. It's just going to be okay, Christopher Nolan made a movie, we know what Christopher Nolan movies get nominated for, and that doesn't include an acting performance from Matt Damon. And he's also like not in the Leo category where it's just like, okay, well, like Matt Damon gets nominated anytime he's in something the same way
no.
Leo is. So I don't see him falling into either of those buckets. But again, I am like not even like the world's biggest Christopher Nolan
Didn't
hater, just
Cillian
like the
Murphy
world's
just win
biggest.
for Oppenheimer? Didn't he just win Best Actor?
But that's like an Oscar baity kind of performance where
but this
Odysseus is
is
not an Oscar baity performer.
n-
It's not going to be the kind of role that is like, even if he doesn't win, it's going to be like,
no
notice me.
sword and sandal movies aren't typically Oscar baity roles.
Taking it to the bank today. Put it on the calendar that Romona said on February 5th, 2026. And we'll see where we are next year. I'm
yeah.
very confident. Of
I'm
course, I
there
took
with
it to the bank that
you.
Ariana Grande was going to win the Oscar this year, and she didn't even get nominated. So maybe, I don't know.
It was a
The
Just be
good bet
Academy
at
is
the
cautious.
a fickle
time.
beast.
It was a good bet at the time. You just had to know when to get off of the bet, which is
I did
time
after I
for a
saw the
great,
movie.
We're doing a run on the bank. Do a run on
which is a,
Ramona's bank.
which
No,
is
no, I'm closed for the day.
there's a great quote that says the only thing worse than beating a dead horse is betting on one. Um,
Man,
so there you go.
I'm not
So
dead yet. I'll
the
tell you.
I'm with Matt Damon is going to be in that best actor conversation for a while. Whether that remains to well, and depending on his performance, obviously, if he's not able to meet the moment, then that will be a whole different issue. But the Odyssey, even though the Odyssey is clearly unlikely to win Best Picture because of
Mhm.
Oppenheimer's success, you got to think it's going to be in production design. Even though people on film Twitter are complaining about the costumes, it's Sword and Sandals. It's going to probably get in costume design. The score, Ludwig Göransson, just go ahead and give him 2 Oscars at this ceremony if you'd like. Um, because he's
Take
going
it
to
to the
win for
bank.
Sinners
Take
and
it to the
Odyssey.
bank.
Um, and so all the below the line is going to just dominate. And it's Christopher Nolan aside, whatever you think of him, this is a big epic film, and it's
Yeah.
not original. It's adapted, but it's adapted from a classic piece of literature that hasn't. It's not like the Odyssey just had an adaptation come out like 4 years ago. I don't remember the last person that. Well, there was actually Ray Fiennes was in an adaptation of the Odyssey, but not to this
Yeah, that
level.
was recent.
A little bit more. That was a little bit more of an intimate thing. This is more like in your face epic. So,
Mhm.
it's going to get in Best Picture. It would be wild for it not to get in Best Picture. It would have to completely like fail. And whatever you think about Christopher Nolan, there was a quote I saw from him recently where he said every time he makes a movie, he sets out to make the best film ever made. And obviously, like, that doesn't mean that he gets there, but like his intent is to try and make the best thing ever made. And so
So does
I
John M.
think this
Chu.
is
That's
no, I don't think he thinks
I
Wicked
don't
for
think
Good is
so.
going to be the best movie ever made.
but in his mind, he's like, I'm making the best movie.
No,
I
I
think
think that
I
he was
think
probably like,
I
this'll
think he was
do.
like, I want to make the best Wicked movie I can. I don't think John M. Chu was thinking this is going to be the best movie ever. Um, so the Odyssey though, it comes with a lot of hype. It's going to have to live up to it. But
Mhm.
as long as critics and audiences dig it, it's going to be like probably a top 5 best picture nominee. Does everybody have it on their list?
Yeah.
Yes. You would be silly not
Begrudgingly.
to. That would be
Yeah.
a really big swing.
Like
Raph.
we know what to expect with Christopher Nolan, which is why I
Yeah.
don't like him. Like we all know kind of what we're gonna get going into it, and it's gonna deliver.
I need
And to
that
me,
sometimes, man.
to like
I need that comfort of knowing what I'm
yeah,
walking into.
to me, like I don't find what he does to be that exciting or interesting. Which is fine. Like he doesn't have
Yeah,
to
that's
be
fair.
a filmmaker for me. Like it clearly works for everyone. Like it's okay. Like I can be the guy who thinks that Oppenheimer was mid.
He's that
Um,
guy.
I will, that's my cross to
I
bear.
wasn't huge on Oppenheimer either, if that makes a difference. But
It
Thank you.
became such an identifier at parties, like the Barbenheimer battle of like what
I
kind of
loved
person
Barbie.
you were. If you
Yeah.
like, did you go see Barbie or did you go see Oppenheimer? Like it said something about you.
I was a
Yeah.
Barbie bro.
Yeah.
I
Barbie
love
was awesome.
Barbie. I did
Yeah.
not see Oppenheimer until it hit streaming.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I thought it was fine though.
It was
It's
better in theater. I never watched it again. Actually, I only saw it in theater, so I can't really say.
It
But
feels
I
like one of those movies I saw once and I'm like, all right. And
it works. It plays a lot better in your living room. Like that's a movie. That's a movie for TNT Sunday afternoon.
Wow,
you can go
harsh words.
background noise while you do other things.
we are
If
we
anyone
are
wants to
heavy
read your
on
review,
the takes. Hopefully this is a really well viewed episode because we are really laying on the hot takes here early on. Raph, give us something off of your list.
do we want more hot takes or
I mean,
what?
Both.
I think we've, despite all the hot takes, I think we've been fairly high level movies right now. I was saving some of my more
Mhm.
out there stuff for later, but you can just choose anything off your list
Okay.
you
Well,
want. I don't really have a preference.
I'm gonna go with my number 2, which I think is kind of in the same category as some of these other movies. I think it will stir a bit of controversy, if you will, and there will be some debating. Um, this is a movie that I am personally not very excited for, but I think it'll be interesting to see where the Academy goes and like what lessons we've learned since Bohemian Rhapsody. Will the Academy
No.
fall for whatever it is that Michael is doing,
No.
or will we have learned our lesson from Bohemian Rhapsody? I'm of the opinion that the Academy is not going to learn the correct lessons. People are going like this Michael Jackson movie is going to make $1 trillion,
No.
and the
No.
Academy is going to be like, we should reward that with a Best Picture nomination.
No.
Yeah, nomination. Ooh, I can't speak tonight. I'm not even drinking any whiskey. Jacob, cut that. But like it's gonna be like everyone's gonna go see it. We're all gonna be like, wow, remember when Michael Jackson made Thriller? Like that was so much fun. That means that this was a good movie. And then the Academy will be like, yes, it was. Let's nominate it for Best Picture. But like
Mm.
all movie people will be like, that movie sucked ass. So this is one of the more interesting ones, but I do think that it's going to find its way in, and we're all going to be extremely frustrated next March when it
No.
does get
I have
nominated.
no. I watched the
Absolutely
trailer.
not.
I have zero interest in watching this. And I feel like too. So tired of the biopics of musicians right now. Although I think I say that as I say that I'm actually excited for the Joni Mitchell biopic with Anya Taylor Joy. I'm actually looking forward to that one. But the Michael, I just feel like there's so much that it's just going to be watered down the way Bohemian Rhapsody was with Freddie Mercury's life. I just feel like they're going to give you the glossy surface of who they were, and it'll be that feel good crap. and it's
Mhm.
not actually going to be who Michael Jackson was. And I get, if you're going to do a biopic on a musician like that, I mean, you got to go all in or just don't do it. Like, and I just
Yeah.
don't think that this movie is doing that. So I'm not looking forward. You're probably right though. They'll probably be like, this movie was about arguably one of the greatest pop stars to ever live, and it made a lot of money and people love it, and so we're gonna give it to best picture and maybe best actor. But
No,
frustration.
I
No.
refuse to include this one on principle, but also
Yeah.
last year when we did the early predictions, I remember the Springsteen movie was going around and
That
it was
pooped
in
out real
predictions, and
quick.
I refused out of principle then too, and I was right. So that'll be my bet. This will not be in the top 10, and I hope that I am right.
Yeah, I agree.
So we have
Michael Jackson is just
two.
so much more famous than Bruce
Raph
Springsteen.
Raph is currently outnumbered 2-1 on just because on principle. And I'm joining the
Well,
party. I've also left Michael out of my top 10 on principle.
Yeah.
That is subject to change when my list comes out March 22nd because it feels very likely. But I wasted a spot on Bruce Springsteen last year, which, again, as you just said, Raph, Michael Jackson is not Bruce Springsteen. um, this
Yeah.
will be insane at the box office. It will be probably critically okay to panned. Um, and then we will see how the industry feels. It's not getting into the thorny stuff. It's been kind of split and
Yeah.
redone and kind of pushing all that crap out. So it's going to basically be a concert film. And unfortunately, that it makes it more likely to be in Best Picture. And Jafar
It's gonna
Jackson
be the movie. It's gonna be
is
like
gonna they're gonna have a hard time not voting for Jafar Jackson. Everyone in the Academy, especially over the age of like 50, is gonna be like, "Oh, Jafar Jackson looks and sounds just like him. He sounds just like his uncle,"
Mhm.
and they're gonna want to put him in there. It's gonna be tempting. But I mean, it looks,
it should be a smashing machine situation where it just gets hair and makeup,
I don't
and it's
even
also
yeah,
need
gonna
the
it
waste
will.
makeup.
and
But the hair looked good.
it's gonna waste an amazing Coleman Domingo performance.
Oh,
that's
that's right. I forgot he's in
true.
that. Yeah.
Coleman Domingo
He
could
was
get in
he,
supporting actor for this, especially if it's in Best Picture. I mean, everyone loves Coleman Domingo, and he's probably doing the most.
yeah.
He's probably going to be doing the
He
most
was
like
great in The
interesting
Running Man,
work.
which I hated, but he was
He's
good.
gonna win for this. He's gonna win for this. Out of all of his amazing performances, this is gonna be the one that he's gonna win for,
Uh,
and it's gonna be
well,
it's gonna be one of those scenarios where you're like, out of this
Really?
dude's entire body of work, that's the one that we go with. So yeah, can't wait
Yeah.
for it.
it's probably going to
Thriller,
happen,
Thriller
Raph.
was cool. Billie Jean, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This
However.
this movie is. I don't know if this movie's going to be insufferable or I mean, because if you like Michael Jackson's music, I feel like half of the runtime or more is going to be recreating
Singing.
Michael Jackson songs
Yeah.
and seeing Michael Jackson run around on a stage all fun. And so you're gonna be like, oh well, I like this song. So I don't know. I don't know.
Oscar.
It's gonna be something. Raph, the only one, but Raph is probably right. Music biopic on the level of Michael is gonna be hard to deny. That I guess that brings it back to me. Interesting. So we have two off my list, Odyssey and Wild Horse 9 so far. What do I want to talk about next? Let me pull up. I've lost my app.
I can talk more about Michael while you pull up
Is
your
that
app.
something
I do think
you're
it's interesting though that like the Springsteen movie followed the Bob Dylan movie format of like, let's just take one moment of time of this
Hmm.
artist's career and like focus on that. And I think that that's like a more like artistically interesting route to take for a music biopic. But obviously Michael Jackson is doing, or the Michael movie is doing the like cradle to grave Bohemian Rhapsody format, even though they're going to break it up into two movies. So it's really just going to be like cradle to like extreme
They're
success.
breaking it up into
Are you
2
kidding?
movies.
Yeah, because it's just like too overstuffed. So we're gonna get like Coleman Domingo as like abusive father into Michael Jackson becoming the biggest superstar in the world, which like really follows the Bohemian Rhapsody playbook. It's just gonna be like it's such an interesting question to think about whether or not the Academy and like also just like general audience members, like if you talk to like the average American who sees like 4 movies a year, they are really excited for the Michael Jackson biopic. Whereas like we are not, because we're freaks and weirdos who watch like a gazillion movies every day. So like we're not excited for this. But if you're someone who sees 3 movies a year, you go to the theater a few times a year, you're going for like Avengers, Doomsday, and Michael Jackson, like you're going to love it. And like I think people will be hypnotized by everything, the aura around the movie, instead of just like watching what the actual movie is and like judging it based on that. And the Academy like just might go with where the crowd takes them on that. So this is, to me, I think this is the most interesting movie within the mix for this year.
Well, I'm going to take us a little bit out of the pace of more obvious choices and leave a few obvious choices still for you guys to hit. I'm gonna go pretty far off the beaten track here, kind of, and do the untitled Jesse Eisenberg musical comedy from A24. um,
That's on my
uh,
list.
there it goes. It's still on Ramona's list.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg, I did not see When You Finish Saving the World. I know that it's not the most well received. I did see A Real Pain, and A Real Pain was quite good.
Mhm.
This is, got a musical element, so that's always a little bit tricky, but you know, it's being produced by Emma Stone, who I guess Emma Stone's produced all of this stuff, so maybe that doesn't really say much. And A24 is involved. It's got Paul Giamatti as like a dominating community theater type person, and Julianne Moore as a shy woman who gets caught in his like um, spell, I guess, and just like enters community theater. It sounds like a blast. I love community theater for one thing. Jesse Eisenberg is cool. I always like the chance for something musical to pop off, and it's just a kind of weird entry that I could pick as I could see it being A24's push, or A24 might pick something up that is not listed on. But they have a really heavy slate already, so I don't know what they're planning to pick up. They do have their wallets out though. They picked up
Mm.
Yeah.
the invite from Sundance, and they look like they might be headed into Cannes. In fact, they have another movie that could appear at Cannes this year that would also be a contender, and we might get to that. We'll have to talk about it later in this podcast for sure. Um,
Mm.
I think obviously Paul Giamatti could be once again in the best actor or supporting
I
actor
love
for this
him.
kind of role. Julianne Moore, I think
Yeah.
Julianne Moore is maybe the one, and I want to try and pull a Raph from this past season. Raph called out Tiana Taylor and was right on the money for one battle. Um, this is way wilder because I think it's a way more chance she's not that involved. But I'm going to say that Havana Rose Liu is a supporting actress in this movie, and she was really good in Bottoms. She had, I think, showed a lot of prominence. She's been in some other stuff,
Mhm.
and I think I don't know. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say for now that she could maybe see the supporting actress race. Ramona, you have it on your list. What stood out to you?
Yeah. I one the just the synopsis of what it's about had me. I didn't care who was in it. I was like community theater, give it to me, I'll take it. But I love Paul Giamatti. I was on the Paul Giamatti for Best Actor for Holdovers train when that came out. I wanted him to win so bad. But I feel like I hate to say like he's overdue because I hate it when they do that stuff, but I would love to see him win for anything. So just seeing him in it, I like Julianne Moore. I saw Cara Buono's in it. I like her. So I kind of, I wasn't sure. I was like, am I being stupid here is Untitled Jesse Eisenberg musical comedy the name of this movie? Because if it isn't, it should be. Like, just leave it. I think it's perfect. Just leave it as it is. I still see it. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. I want to see a trailer or something. So I don't even know when it's coming out, to be honest with you. But when I was like, this was actually the bottom five of when I had my top five that I started searching to see. I was like, what else is coming out this year that looks like? And as soon as I came across this, I was like, oh yes, this is exactly something that I'm going to see. Opening weekend,
Nice.
please. So yeah. Plus, I mean,
Val,
I liked a Real Pain. I liked Real Pain. I'm not big on Jesse Eisenberg as an actor. I just feel like he doesn't have a whole lot of range, to be honest. But I liked his work in A Real Pain. I thought he directed it fairly competently. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
It's not on
anybody
my
else
list.
have?
It is
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
I'm like, even though I do think it will probably at the very least be fun and competent, like I don't really see this being a bad movie. I don't think the Academy likes musicals very much. I sort of think that Wicked was the exception, not the rule. So I think
Chicago
this,
was a musical, but that was so long ago.
yeah, like I think that the Academy is so picky and fickle when it comes to musicals. So I ended up leaving it off my list because of that. But
It's like too fun of a musical
Well,
to
God
be
forbid.
nominated. But it
yeah,
does seem like it's gonna
like
be fun.
Wicked was nominated because Wicked is one of the largest musicals like of all time. But I
Mhm.
mean, there's lots of really great musical movies that have not come anywhere near the Academy. Like Andrew Garfield in Tick Tick Boom was
Amelia
great.
Perez.
And
Mhm.
stop! Don't even say that as a joke, Ralph.
I was gonna say,
Look,
here we go.
I just felt white hot rage in my soul.
the other aspect of this is, like I said, looking at what A24 has on the slate. Um, A24, you knew what they had with Marty Supreme, and they beat that drum all the way through perfectly.
Mhm.
But they also didn't do the best job with Sorry Baby. What is this going to be for them? Are they
Yeah.
going to prioritize it
Yeah.
as their best picture play, or are they going to try and pick something up else out of can? They have something I don't want to spoil for later, but they have something else that could be a can, that could be their play, and that could just be it. If that's their play, then everything else might kind of take a back seat. So, um, but I'm hey, look, Ramona's got it on, so that's pretty cool. Um, Val, I think we're back to you.
All right, I'm gonna go way off the beaten path again. I don't know if anyone else will have this on their list. But previous director who's been nominated for Best Picture, I think amazing director, and could be a really unique and interesting movie. So some of this is just pure hope that it is nominated. And this is the new film from Ryusuke Hamaguchi, All of a Sudden.
Nice.
And they were
I
nominated for Drive My Car, which
mm,
is remains probably one of the best movies I've ever seen. This one is set in France. Um, Features two female leads who have a conversation about life and death, and it seems like it'll be very cerebral. But I was thinking about like the kinds of movies like Sentimental Value and some of
Yeah.
these quieter films that did get some traction this year. So I think it could be possible. We'll have to see how it's received when it comes out. But I mean, like I said, the director has been nominated before for Best Picture, so I don't think it's impossible. So put it on my list.
Yeah.
hell
Did,
That's
yeah.
a very
did anyone
cool,
else have it
very.
on their list? Just out of curiosity.
I did not know this
No,
movie.
I'd even heard of it until you said it, but yeah.
I think the international stuff right now is kind of hard just because we've only had one major festival as of this recording. So it's hard to know sort of like what the international festival darlings are
Hmm.
going to be. Do you happen to
Dang.
know, Val, if this is supposed to premiere at Cannes or what
Um,
the like release plan is for this?
it looks like it's launching world sales at the European film market in Berlin. But it's Cine France is launching. It doesn't look like it looks like theatrical distribution is Diaphana in France. So I'm not seeing that it's set to premiere at a festival, at least right now, which that seems kind of bad. That could
No, that's. I
change,
mean,
I think
but
it's still early.
yeah, we don't know what's going to even be at Cannes, and that's like in
yeah. So if
May,
it's going to be at
April.
Cannes, it hasn't been announced yet. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think
they
this
haven't.
director is solid. So we'll see.
Well, that's a great pick. Did you know about that, Raph? The movie? I don't think anyone else of us knew about it.
I
Mm.
feel like
Mm.
Brian Loomis right now, like
Yeah,
recommending this
you you're
international
pulling a
film no one's heard
Loomis.
of.
Really?
That's a
I
really
am
good
pulling a
deep.
Loomis.
That's a really good deep cut, and unfortunately, we can't do much discussion on it because it's such a deep cut
That's
that
okay. Moving right along.
I think
um
that's a great pull though. Like
yeah.
having an international director who's probably going to premiere at a big festival this year, someone who has been recognized by the Academy. We know that like the voting body has become way more diverse in terms of like international flicks. So like that for me, that was like the hardest thing to find right now is like what are going to be the international movies that like
Yeah, I have
really
one more
at the top.
international pick on my list, so we'll keep
I've
moving
got
along.
I've got one. Ramona, what do you have next?
I have. I'm gonna go with a simple movie. I think. Um, I have Project Hail Mary on my list.
Solid.
Christopher Miller and Phil Lord. Uh, very in looks like it's very much in the vein of The Martian, also written by the same person. I enjoyed The Martian quite a bit, and I know that it got some love at the Academy. Not, I don't think it won anything, but got its nominations. But I love Ryan Gosling. I think he is a wonderful leading man in whatever genre he's in. He always brings it and commits to whatever he's doing, which I love about him. So I don't know if he'd get a Best Actor nomination for that or not, but I think the movie just the scope of it looks like it's built for the Academy, and if it's anything like The Martian, I think a lot of audiences are going to enjoy it as well. So that's on my list. I hope that it's as good because I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that was on my list too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's my number 7.
my Roomba
This
keeps
is
beeping at me. I'll be right back.
this is the first movie since the Odyssey that we all four have on our list, which is interesting because I think there's a pretty decent chance that it misses. This is what I subbed in for Dune Part 3 just for the sci-fi epic size of it. I am kind of there's a new trailer. There's a new Project Hail Mary trailer coming out with the Super Bowl.
Oh,
People who've read
Mm,
the book obviously love it a lot. And it's got and I've read an Andy Weir book that I quite enjoyed that I don't know. So it's Lord and Miller, and maybe this is like Lord and Miller's big like chance to launch a Best Picture movie, and they're so good with the tone and like Spider-Man Into the Spider
hmm.
Verse,
Oh
which
yeah.
they might as well have directed, even if they didn't technically direct it. um, and Daniel Pemberton is scoring, so it's that they're all connected again. So I don't doubt that they'll do a good job with the tone in this movie. The trailers haven't really sold me on it yet for whatever reason, but I believe that there's more that I haven't seen, and I'm hoping to love it. Um, but I do have some concerns about this. This movie almost didn't make my 10. I have concerns, but there's also a lot of rumors that people have seen this movie and are like, it's a masterpiece. And I don't know,
Mm.
how true those rumors are, but thankfully we'll get. When does this release? March. It releases in March.
yeah,
Is
It's
it
released
March?
March,
Ooh, yay.
mid March.
I think that's the
I think
path
that's
for it. If it's one of those March movies that like
Yeah.
makes a lot of money, has really good word of mouth, and crowds are just like showing up for it and really loving it, and then ends up, you know, not like necessarily Sinners or Everything Everywhere All at Once because those are like
Yeah.
super original movies. But I think that's the path for Project Hail Mary. It has to become something that like everyone really loves. It's like in a good release window where it's not competing with much, and then just like
Mm.
carries that momentum all the way through. And then by December, you're like, wait, how is this movie still around?
Yeah.
that's like kind of what happened with Everything Everywhere.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Other like it also could fall into like the Mickey 17 where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, that was
Yeah.
those are people who
yeah,
we really like. The movie was to pretty good, and
Raph.
we're
Yeah.
gonna forget about it by like August.
Yeah.
I would almost I
That's
would almost
true
say
too.
I would almost say it has to be more like a Top Gun Maverick because
Oh
Top
yeah.
Gun Maverick, even though it came out a little bit later, there's nothing about Top Gun Maverick except for the incredible like plane footage and the editing and the cinematography
Yeah.
that required. Story wise, character wise, acting, there's nothing about that movie that just jumps off at you as like incredibly unique. Or even F1. I mean, F1 is in the Best Picture nominees this year. But to me, this would fill that slot of big blockbuster that is incredibly like accessible to everybody. Everyone loves it. It's heartfelt, but it's big action, but it's got a little tinge of real seriousness to it, and and it
Hmm.
because it doesn't have the uniqueness of Everything Everywhere, and it doesn't have the deep themes. I don't think. Now I haven't seen the movie. There are going to be some themes in there, but it's not going to have like the historical relevance of like Sinners. So it's going to be. I don't. It doesn't have anything to latch on to in that regard to me, but I think it is. If it's a big, accessible, fun blockbuster, but also has enough heart to propel it, that I think that's where it succeeds. But that's funny that
I think
it's the one that's on our list. Everybody.
it,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we're all picking it as a hopeful pick because I do think like looking at the list, it's a crowded year for big accessible blockbusters, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dune 3, The Odyssey, like those
Honestly.
kind of like those are the movies that Project Hail Mary is going to be competing with, and like I would lock those two in before Project Hail Mary easily. And I think that there might be like maybe one or two other things that might
Mhm.
pop up that it would also be competing with that are in like that same category. And like we're not gonna have
See,
five big
I said when
blockbustery type
I
movies
Right.
that make it into the 10.
like I said when I didn't have Dune 3 on my list, I said it would make a little more sense. And this is where that's why I'm like, can Dune 3 and Project
Yeah.
Hail Mary, they're both in this sort of sci-fi space. Project Hail Mary will be more accessible than Dune 3. Like just Dune
Yeah.
is just not as accessible to everybody everywhere as
Mhm.
something like Project Hail Mary will
All at
be
once.
all at once. So but on the other hand,
Yeah,
Project
I
Hail Mary
agree.
will also not be as artistic as Dune 3. But that's just the breaks. Okay. Um, Raph, let's move on to your next pick.
Um okay, for my next one, I'll just do another one of these like blockbustery type movies that might be competing with Project Hail Mary and The Odyssey and Dune Part 3 for kind of like a bigger blockbustery, kind of like broader appeal movie. At least I kind of hope that's what this is going to be. It also could take a very weird route, and then maybe not end up in the list of 10. But Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day looks like it might be a return to like his like War of the Worlds, maybe even like Close Encounters kind of vibe.
Yeah.
um who We don't know how big it's going to be or if it's going to be like a like small scale drama that includes UFOs and a potential alien invasion, or if it's going to be like a mix the way that War of the Worlds kind of was. uh but this is like Spielberg like fully in his bag. Like this is where he like does a lot of his best work. So
Hmm.
I think it's safe for us to assume that it's going to be pretty good. He did get nominated for West Side Story, which like I thought was amazing, but I also thought The Fablemans was great, but this
Yeah.
does feel like a return to form for like the Amblin kind of like
Yeah.
Spielberg stuff that we're used to from him. And again, I think it's something that's going to be competing with like Project Hail Mary, and if it's like of Spielberg quality, it probably gets in over that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it comes with the name Steven Spielberg, which is always a plus for I think for the Academy. But I'm also excited. I like seeing that Josh O'Connor is being more prominent in these films. I think he's a very underrated actor, so I'm kind of
Mhm.
excited to see him. I think the first thing I ever saw him in was Emma, right before COVID
Oh
shut everything
yeah.
down, and he was such a goober in that movie that I was just like, "You're such a goober," like, but he was so charming too in a "you're an awful kind of person" kind of way. But yeah, so I'm excited to see that he's getting a lot more work, and I love Emily Blunt too. So like just having those two in the film, and then Steven Spielberg and Aliens, man. I'm so excited for it. I hope it doesn't disappoint. Because that's gonna really suck. But that's like one of my top five. Like I'm ready for this year to see that one. So it's definitely top five. I also have
I
that on my
mean,
list. Shocking.
Val, is it on your list?
So no, it's like number 12 for me. I'm kind of betting that this will be more of a summer blockbuster than an awards darling. I think it'll still be good, but I mean, I'm making a bet. I might be totally wrong, but yeah, I don't know. It did
More
not make
War
my
of the
list.
Worlds than Close Encounters,
Yeah, yeah,
which wouldn't
but
suck.
no, I
No,
would
no, I
still like
loved War of the
probably
Worlds.
enjoy it. I just don't know if it'll be an awards darling. But we'll see.
I yeah, I toyed with moving this off my list and maybe leaving Dune on when I was putting Project Hail Mary on. But I just so badly want I so badly want to see Spielberg in his bag in a new movie in the theater. Like I would love if this is a return to like Prime, E.T., Jurassic Park, Jaws, Spielberg, but in 2026 for just new for that you can go see witness in the theater before you ever see it on a small screen. I think we all would like that to happen. Um, the trailer, I thought the trailer was really cool. The sounds that Emily Blunt's throat, I guess, are making are really disturbing. But then there's
Yeah,
also like, and hopefully it's just like an unfinished shot. But those animals, those CGI animals in the almost AI Hallmark Christmas card shot at the end, also kind of disturbing and concerning. And I never saw Ready Player One, but it didn't really catch me, and I'm worried.
it.
I'm just worried about
Yeah,
what
it wasn't.
Spielberg will
Yep.
be. I hope he does return to form in this, and it's a
Yeah.
more legitimate thing. So it's on my list because I
Old
believe in it.
school.
West
But
Side
I'm
Story
also
Fablemans are dope.
West
yeah
Side
no yeah
Story
no
was
West Side
very
Story
good, and I was not expecting it to be good.
He's in his bag there. It's a different bag, but he's in his
yeah,
bag.
but you know what
This
I'm
feels
saying,
more
like
like what we know. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Spielberg
what he's known for.
being great and experimenting, and this is Spielberg doing something that he's historically done really well, but he hasn't necessarily done it well in a long time. The two closest things to this
Yeah.
were Ready Player One and BFG. So he hasn't
I wasn't a
dabbled.
fan of Ready Player One.
Yeah, and BFG is pretty bad.
Yeah.
So this is but again, BFG was a kids movie. Hopefully, this is it. But we will see. Okay, I'm trying to decide whether to segue off of that or just go a full tilt. And I think I'll segue. So Josh O'Connor is in Disclosure Day. He could be looked at in acting for that. He's also apparently the lead of the new Joel Cohen film Jack of Spades, which is apparently I
Oh,
think
I heard about this.
a period mystery piece set in Ireland, and I'm sold. So Joel Cohen's only thing he's done since the Coen brothers split is a tragedy of Macbeth, which was incredibly shot and incredibly acted, although I couldn't get in rhythm with the Shakespeare in that, so I didn't watch all of it. But clearly, that was very clearly Ethan has gone off and is just the goofy brother. Um, I think there's a little bit more. There's a little bit more data to rely on than the Safdie split right now. I know we're tempted to say
Yeah.
Josh Safdie has the juice with Marty Supreme, and Benny Safdie clearly doesn't with Smashing Machine. I know Raph's made that argument. I think it's a little too early to really say that based on one movie. But Ethan Cohen has made 3 movies now, and they're all just goofy and not serious. And Joel has made 1 movie, and it was
Yeah.
very serious. So, but we don't know much about Jack of Spades other than Josh O'Connor is the lead. I saw a picture of him in a top hat on the set of this, and it's like some kind
Sold.
of Ireland mystery thing. I don't know. That sounds awesome. It's something that is a little less on the radar, and I'm like, that's going on my list because I don't want to doubt Joel Cohen and Carter Burwell, who does the score with the Coen brothers historically, and also McDonough. Carter Burwell doing the score for both Wild Horse 9 and Jack of Spades. I have him on the list twice as well as Josh O'Connor. So, anybody else got Jack of Spades on their list?
Nope.
Nope. Yeah,
No,
It's a
I
great
hadn't even
pick,
heard
though.
of it. Yeah.
It is a good pick. That one
Yeah.
flew under my radar.
Yeah.
It sounds like this should be directed by Martin McDonough.
Well, yeah, it does.
I was gonna
I-
ask. I was like, is it direct? Is Colin Farrell in this one too?
Yeah, they should swap. Cohen and McDonough should have swapped who was making which movie.
They should, yeah. Maybe they all made it together. If they, I don't know if they shot Wild Horse 9 on Easter Island or if they shot it on Ireland and made it look like Easter Island. Maybe they were hanging out. They're probably hanging out, having fun. If the production's lined up.
It's the life. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to Val. What's next on your list?
All right. I'm realizing that I have a lot of no, I have a few more blockbuster picks, but I'll do another wild swing. I read about this one on Criterion, and it just sounds like something that might come out of nowhere and be really, really successful. And that is new movie coming from Tony Gilroy, Behemoth.
Hmm.
It's going to star Pedro Pascal and Eva Victor. It's supposed to be a love letter to like old Hollywood music. The score is James Newton Howard. So this could be really good.
Yeah.
Also, I'm a Michael Clayton apologist. I love Michael Clayton. I think it is so incredibly underrated as a film. And obviously Tony Gilroy is responsible for Michael Clayton. And obviously John Gilroy is also on this film as well. I don't know. I think this could be a sleeper hit. I think it could be really fun. And yeah, a really strong cast. Also Matthew Lillard, Olivia Wilde, Will Arnett. Could be really interesting.
Loving this Matthew Lillard renaissance that we're getting.
Yes. I love to see Matthew Lillard on my screen.
Same. I actually saw Friday Night at Freddy's 2 with my daughter, and I was like, if
Was
Matthew
he in
Lillard's
it?
not in this, he is in like a weird ass dreamy sequence
Oh,
kind
okay.
of thing, and at the end. But yeah,
He's also going to be in Carrie on Amazon.
I know. Oh my god, psyched for Carrie. So excited for Carrie.
Yeah. But did
Not to
anyone
go
else
off
have
topic, but
Behemoth, or am I the only
No.
one?
Did not have Behemoth. That's another one that flew under my radar. I put
It's
that on
another-
my list to check out.
I did see that one. I at least knew that one existed. But it is one of those that's like Jack of Spades. It's so far out where there's still so
Yeah.
little known. It's just like picking,
Yeah.
you just pick your project in terms of like, this is a director and a slight little bit of, I don't even know if we know. Yeah, we have a little bit of plot about Behemoth. Also, Tony Gilroy wrote Andor, which is not, I mean, pretty much everyone, I haven't seen Andor,
Yeah,
but
Andor's good.
everyone kind of loves that. So, he's a good writer. Cool. So that's a
Great
that's a
pick.
great shout. Another one.
Also,
That's
just looking at the wiki page and like playing the like studio game, it's being distributed by Searchlight. So like, who knows like what else they'll have, and if like this is their one
That's
big player that they
true.
can push.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah,
I think Searchlight
Love
has
that.
Wild Horse 9, but I'm not positive on that.
Oh man, so we'll have to see what
But
they
that
bet
doesn't mean. I mean,
what they
Searchlight.
put their money
Searchlight,
behind.
Searchlight is due for 2 because they had none this year. So they got to turn that
True.
around.
Yeah.
Romona, what do you have next?
I'm trying to see. Did that one. I don't know much about this other than I like the director, I like one of the actors, and it sounds fun. I went with Digger, which is Tom Cruise's new movie with I'm going to butcher his name and I'm so sorry. Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu. He did The Revenant. Yeah. I
No,
can't say
that
his
one's a
name.
good pick because I've seen
Yeah.
that one be very talked about for this year.
Yeah, Tom Cruise, and I was more excited to see Jesse Plemons is in this one. So I think that he should have been. I would have loved to see him in this year for Begonia, but I don't know. This sounds like a really fun movie. So, of course, it could be really dark. I don't really know, but I'm actually excited. The most powerful man in the world embarks on a frantic mission to prove he is humanity's savior before the disaster he's unleashed destroys everything. I was like,
So
yep,
it's Tom
I'll
Cruise
watch
role.
it. Tom Cruise, right?
Well,
Yeah.
So I'm
and
like,
that's,
okay.
there's a funky little teaser out for it with a funky little
Oh, is there?
poster. Yes, you haven't seen
I
the
did see the
teaser?
poster.
You put
Yeah,
so the
I haven't
teaser
seen the
is
teaser trailer, but I
got gorillas music
I
behind it
did
as
see.
Tom Cruise does a little dance with a
Oh,
shovel,
nice
Oh,
um,
hell yeah.
dark
and
comedy. Oh, right up my
weird
alley.
makeup. Tom Cruise is. I mean, you barely see Tom Cruise, but you can tell
Yeah,
he's like. That needs to be
even
on
better.
everybody's makeup radar because Tom Cruise has clearly been transformed once again. Yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah,
Inaritu has been in this position a lot. He's not won anything, so it's not like a particular reason not to put him in there.
he
And the
didn't win
Tom
for The
Cruise
Revenant.
did he? I don't know. Not best pictured.
I
Maybe
think
he
he
won
won
an
best.
Birdman was
award.
nominated.
I think he won Best Director because it was in that stretch where it was like Del Toro,
Oh yes,
Cuarón, and then
sorry.
Inarritu, like the three Mexican folks,
He
like all won back to back to back for
Yeah, he
director.
won for Birdman.
So
Yes, thank you for that correction, Val. That yes, he clearly
Okay.
won for Birdman. So he has been in there. You know, it's one where he could be in there again in terms of not probably not in win contention. I think because of the Tom Cruise of it. I think Tom Cruise in his first real dramatic role for in quite a while is going to be interesting as long as the movie doesn't fall on his face. Which it could be. I mean, it's a kind of
Yeah.
wild deal. So this is more of a high risk, high reward pick. But it's on my list. Anybody, Raph and Val,
the Academy
anything to that?
loves Inarritu. There is like a contingency of film fans who consider him to be a hack. Like there are certain segments of film corners of cinephilia where like people hate Birdman and
Cinephilia. That sounds like a disease.
in many ways it is.
It
Um,
sounds like it's
but
like
we know that the Academy
medication.
really loves him the same way that they love Guillermo and like Frankenstein. We
Yeah.
saw like still got a ton of nominations, ended up being in Best Picture. Obviously, they're two different guys and make two different movies, but like we know that the
Yeah.
Academy likes to go back to people, and like we have all been pining for the post Mission Impossible Tom Cruise return to good, serious, fun, dramatic acting because like we
Yeah.
saw it in Jerry Maguire, we saw it in Eyes Wide Shut, we saw it like,
Yeah.
all throughout the 90s. We saw it in A Few Good Men, and we
And he
want
just
this like
went to
late
an
stage of his
action star.
career
Yeah.
to go back to
Yeah.
that. And like this seems like it could be the transition back into it, and like that combo, which it's kind of perfect for it to end up in
Yeah.
the 10.
Yeah, I will say that like when I saw the info about this movie, one of my first thoughts was maybe Tom Cruise, maybe this will be the movie that gets him into the canon.
He's not. There's no
That's the
Tom
most
Cruise
important
movies in the
question.
canon.
No,
None. Like
I've been
not
fighting
even
with Duke
born.
about it for years.
Not even like Born on the 4th of July. Didn't he get nominated for an Oscar for that? I didn't see it. I don't
Or
know.
Magnolia,
Nope.
DA.
Magnolia.
Mission
Or
I'm
Impossible
gonna have
2.
to. I
Risky
liked that
Business.
movie. I did. Risky Business.
Yeah, that's a great pick though. I think it seems it's lining up for that to for sure be in the 10.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I'm
Yeah.
keeping track. Raph and Val, do y'all have Digger?
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So far, the movie that is appearing on all four of our lists are Project Hail Mary, The Odyssey, and Digger. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if I could have predicted that from the start, and it would have been Dune Part 3 if not for me. Um, so
That's all right. I just put it
Raph,
on there because I figured it was a lock, not because I
I
actually
mean,
care about
it
it.
is. Raph, what is next on yours?
Okay, I'll go to my number
whichever you
4,
pick.
which is an international movie. I mentioned when Val was talking about all of a sudden that I found it hard to pinpoint what the international movies will be. Like we can probably slot like at least two places for international flicks. I only have this one. Um, it's from someone who has been involved in another Oscar-nominated film. So the co-writer of Anatomy of a Fall is
Okay.
directing a movie starring Léa Seydoux called The Unknown. I think Neon has already picked it up for distribution.
Ooh.
Don't know if it's going to. I think it's supposed to be premiering at Cannes. I might be making that up, but again, sort of just like thinking through someone who's been nominated for an Oscar before, trying to slot in some international stuff. The Unknown is, and the director's name is Arthur Harari. I don't think I mentioned that before. So it wasn't the
Yeah.
woman who directed it; it was her. Her co-writer wrote and directed this flick.
Oh, this one went completely under my radar, but I love Leah
Yeah.
Seydoux. I would love to see her get more critical acclaim.
Yeah, she's awesome.
It's called The Unknown.
It's The Unknown, but in French is what it's on under in IMDb.
Le Unknown. I don't know how to
I
say
haven't
unknown
gone
in
to
French.
that part of my Duolingo
I can't
yet.
read it. I'd have to get my husband to come over. He speaks French, but I,
I don't know.
I speak very
if you
little
search
French.
Leah Seydoux, you'll find it.
This movie
Anyone
was
else
also,
have this on?
No, this was not my other international pick.
No, I do not.
This
have
movie
that
was unknown to all of us,
Ha
except
ha
for Raph.
ha.
So, but that's a great pull. So we've had several good, like really deep pulls already. All of a sudden, unknown. Um, those are really like reaching in the basket, and that's fun, and that's a really good
All right.
possibility of that happening. Because it's you brought up some good points there, Raph. Um, all right, it's time to talk about what's probably going to be the best movie of the year based on the little bit that's out there right now. Emerald Fennell's Wuthering Heights,
Are you serious?
which comes out in 8 days.
I
I
might go to
have
see, despite
I
my
have been on the
one.
fence.
I
trepidation.
might also, but I don't know yet.
I have been on the fence. As Raph knows, I'm a huge believer in Promising Young Woman. I think Promising Young Woman
That
is absolutely terrific. And I think Saltburn is pretty bad. um, but in the sense of what people like to say about well directed, me and Raph have talked a couple of times about the cinematography of Saltburn, which is very pretty, very well framed,
it
and doesn't.
is.
And Raph is shaking his head because that's not cinematography. It has to tell the story. It has to like convey the themes, which there are no real themes. Saltburn sucks in terms of writing, which is the problem. So you don't really have anything to connect the cinematography to. But so that was why I was on the fence movie going into Wuthering Heights. Like the trailers to me look like incredible. There's a controversy over the whole deal. There's my concern was obviously some of the stuff in Saltburn was kind of like shocking, and I was worried that Emerald Fennell would be leaning into that again because you couldn't tell from the trailers like
I
maybe
heard
that
that
was
she
going.
does, though.
The first
She's
I heard
going
that.
to,
reactions,
and I have a rant,
Yeah.
but I'll let you finish what you're saying
the
first.
first reactions are mentioning her restraint and that it's a lot of longing and not a lot of skin. Now there is still some stuff in there apparently, but it's not the same. I don't think it's the same. Um, in fact, I don't know anyone who's actually seen the movie and given a bad reaction. I've seen several social media reactions were like some people are going to love this movie and some people are going to hate this movie, but every one of them to a T has been like, and I love it. None of them have actually been on the hate side. I can't find anyone that's seen the
Huh.
movie that's hated it. I've seen people who went into it indifferent that were won over by it. Um, I think this is going to be a freaking bop. It seems like it's going to be awesome. The shots look incredible. You can feel the yearning through the trailer, and apparently it sticks that landing. But the number of times I've read the word yearning on these reviews is insane. I think apparently it works, and people who have read, all for all the controversy, people who have read the Wuthering Heights, classic literature I haven't ever read. say that she takes a lot of liberties. Like this is not like straightforward, but that what she does works for a lot of people that have read the book. Most of the hate for the movie right now comes from people who just haven't seen it, or people who just hate Emerald
Mm.
Fennell because of Saltburn and will never let her live it down. So,
See,
um,
see, now I feel like my hate isn't justified because I haven't actually read reviews. I'm going based on what I've seen her say in interviews and also the trailers, which is people asked her about the quotation marks around the movie, and she's like, "Well, it's because reading the book, I had these feelings inside of me, and like." I wanted to recreate that feeling, that experience that I had reading Wuthering Heights. So, like, the story, whatever. Like, I'm going to create that, like, emotion. And I have read Wuthering Heights, so I know kind of what she means, but I also think that's sort of horseshit. And there's stuff in the trailers that people are like, well, it's restraint. I'm like, there's sicko shit in the trailers. Like, I'm sorry. But
there that's why I thought it was. I mean, there's stuff in the trailers that
yeah.
allude to that possibility, but apparently it's more a little more restrained in the sense. So, and
Hmm.
also we just have a divergence on that where you hear
Yeah.
you hear that and you're like, no, that's wrong, and I hear that and I'm like, yeah, screw it, like just make a movie, like don't shackle yourself. The one thing about that you can say about Emerald Fennell is she's going to make whatever the heck she wants to make without
That's
regards
true.
to like
Mm.
what anyone else, and that's where true art's going to come from. And I think she's based on, I mean, again, these reactions are going to probably even out to some degree when the reviews come out on Monday. But
Mhm.
but she seems to just, it's like the costumes. The costumes are not like
Mhm.
period appropriate, and the costume designer on this was like, we just really didn't care. We just wanted to put them in stuff that looked good. And there's probably me that's just like, yes, we don't always have to be like, this is just like a heightened like
Yeah.
thing, and it's saying, if you don't, we're not doing that here. You can do that and that's fine, but we don't, that's not what we're attempting to do. We just don't care about that. We don't care about that. I'm like, if you are that
Yeah.
just confident and just go with it, I'm going along with it. Like that's good to me. I think this movie's going to
I
be
need to hear what Ramona has to say.
great.
I you know I'm torn between I wanting to see it because I like the actors. I think Jacob was miscast, but I'd probably see it if there's nothing coming out that I really want to see. I'll be like, all right, I'll go see. I have a credit. I'll go see Wuthering Heights. But there's this, and I think this is what happened to me with Wicked too, for good, is I I get so weirded out when the press tours become a weird codependent, they need to go to therapy kind of deal where they're just vomiting all over, like, oh, I became codependent on my co-star even though my husband's a producer on this film. But it feels very forced, like we bonded so much that you need to come see our yearning together. It's just, it puts me off. I'm just like,
Yeah.
just fucking give an, sorry, bleep, give an interview about the movie. Stop trying to make it weird. I just want to know about the movie. I did not like Saltburn.
Yeah.
Did not like Saltburn. I think Jacob is miscast. Margot, okay. I don't know. I'm very just up and down on this movie. Like sometimes I admit the trailer was pretty. I was like, oh,
Here's
Yeah.
the
it's a
deal.
beautiful
Here's the
film.
deal.
But then I'm also like, I don't know if I'm gonna like the story
Ramona,
and how
Ramona, have
she
you read the
adapts
book?
the story.
Ha-
I read the book in like eighth grade.
So are you saying Jacob's miscast for the Heathcliff that is in the book, or just he's
I the
miscast?
way that I the way I interpreted Heathcliff in the book was he's a man of color, and I
It's
just
Right.
feel like
explicitly stated in the
it.
book that
Yeah,
he
and
is.
I feel like, I mean, and they redid he's not the first white guy to play Heathcliff.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom Hardy I think played Heathcliff in Wuthering Heights years and years and
Yeah,
years
this is
ago.
not an Emerald Flamel
This is
original thing at
Yeah,
all.
no,
Yeah.
it's not. But at the same time, I'm like, like you said, you pointed out, Jacob, she's going to make whatever she wants to make. They're not going to do the period costumes that they should, that fits the time. And that's fine. It's her movie. I'm not being forced to go see it if I don't want to see it. But I think I would have been more on board with it had she had somebody else as Heathcliff. I just feel like that's such an integral part of the story.
I
But
think it,
again,
I
I
think it
don't
kind
want
of
to. I Go ahead.
leans into like her worst sensibilities, right? Like I think we all walk away from Saltburn and think like the writing in this movie is like so awful, and she completely misses the mark in terms of like what the themes of this movie like should be or like can
Yeah,
be. And if she's
yeah.
taking this text that like people have like loved for years and years and generations upon generations, and she looks at it and she says, I want to take the spirit of it, but I want to write my own sort of version of it and create my own version of it. I think like most people would agree that Emerald Fennell as a director, like if you give her a good script, like she might be able to do something with it. But if she is
Hmm.
then like taking this beloved text and making it her own
Yeah.
thing and then making a movie from that, that's like again leaning into all of the things that made Saltburn like really unbearable to watch.
Yeah. And
So
like Jacob
Yeah.
said, it's fine, like, if it is good. I mean, like, if this book were adapted, if we wanted like a book adaptation that is like book accurate, Robert Eggers is the correct director. Honestly, because that is the
Ooh, I
kind of
like
story
that.
this is. It is a
That would
horror
be
book.
perfect.
Like
Yeah, it's not a romance.
100% thriller
Yeah,
psychological horror. And
yeah.
it is not a romantic book at
No.
all, to the point
And
where
I
when
think
I
people are
read it,
going to
I
go
was
into,
kind of like,
yeah,
wow, okay, this is
yeah,
completely different than what I thought it would be. But again,
yeah,
if it's good, it's
yeah.
fine. But when I saw like the people like sticking fingers in the fish's mouths and all the biting and pulling and cutting, I was kind of like, is this kind of going in the 50 Shades of Grey Saltburn direction? And that if it
I
goes
worried
too
about
hard
that.
in that direction, I think
Yeah,
it will put off
yeah.
people
I worried about
largely.
that
Especially if they're
greatly.
going into this expecting a romance, because they're not going to get that.
That was
So,
my
Well, I mean, they might. I don't know.
we're
well,
releasing
also
it
depends on how she.
Valentine's weekend, so
to
that's
be
kind of how it's
fair.
being marketed.
To be fair, there are people too. Some of the reviews are from like not just someone who's read the book and not just a critic, but
Mhm.
a well known
Yeah,
critic who's read the book, who says like the mess is still there. The mess is very much there.
Huh.
So it's not.
Interesting.
It doesn't mean that it's going to be the same, but apparently, like
yeah.
the idea that the trailer is very much selling greatest love story ever told. But that's just because you don't
No.
necessarily advertise the problematic stuff underneath that, like whatever that. Not that it's going to be the same. And also, just for the record, especially with the podcast that Raph and I have off of this Screen Age Wasteland environment, I want to be clear. I think it's fair to be critical of casting Jacob Elordi in a role that was not only described as a person of color in the book, but
Mhm.
whose character is so influenced by that. I think it's fine to be. It makes sense to be critical of that, while also you can end up enjoying the finished product. I think you can hold both of those two things
Mhm.
together. So I'm
Well,
expecting
For
that
I
it's
sure.
think if you
going
make that
to.
change, but I think if we just had a director who like people generally trust more, that like I think
That's
that's the big
true.
issue. I
Yeah.
think the issue is that we don't trust this director because the last thing that we saw her make was like absolute dog shit. Like there are people who I really liked Promising Young Woman. I know that there are a lot of people who
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
issues with it. I don't know how I would feel about it if I were to revisit, but I think the general consensus of like people walking away from Saltburn was like, this is like someone who thinks that they're deep in a bag that they are not in at all. So the
Yeah.
next thing that that person makes, no matter what it is going to be
Going to be
something that we're
critical of
all
it.
going to be
Yeah.
skeptical of, which is why,
Yeah.
to bring it back to the pole position question, I have no faith that this is going to be something that ends up in the best picture 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Yes,
think I will either.
no one
To
has
that
it. I
criticism, it is his character in the book, and unfortunately, in the final product, is sort of informed by him being a person of color. It's the reason that
Yeah.
he's in the servant class and not a member of the aristocratic class like Margot Robbie's character. So, I mean,
Right.
it's okay. I mean, it's not like I don't personally feel like I'm going to boycott the movie over it or anything. I'm probably still
No.
going to go see it. But yeah, I think it is worth criticizing both from just what they're doing and also worth criticizing from a story perspective because it's like there are reasons for why that you sort of have to just sort of be like, oh, but, you know, whatever, over,
and I have
if that makes
I
sense.
my biggest fear in terms of the best picture nomination here is this movie, as we just said. debuts on February 14th, which is
Mhm.
incredibly
Yeah.
early, and
They might forget about it, even if it's really
it's
good.
starting out very divisive right out of the gate. Maybe it can win people over, and maybe it can. This is a long way to go to be Best Picture
Yeah.
nominee.
To be a February
Um,
release to get nominated for Best Picture, you have to be Silence of the Lambs or Get Out. Like movies that people go to and everyone is like, that's awesome. That's a really cool movie.
but there
We want
is,
to
and
watch
I
that
will
a million times.
let.
Not like if you're going to be a movie that people are like divisive over, you have to come out in December to then like there's not going to be a
Really
February movie
stay
that people are
fresh. Yeah.
lukewarm on that stays from February through nominations next January. Like there's just
Right.
that's not the path, you know.
And there's a version of me where it's like, did I pick Wuthering Heights in my 10 for the sake of this conversation because of how fun it was going to be to discuss it on pole position? But no, for
I
real,
mean, hey,
Don't
it
give
worked.
people a peek behind the curtain, Jacob.
Yeah.
Don't show
um,
them how the sausage is made.
but
Let the producing
I'm,
be the producing.
I'm I'm here to say that's not what I'm doing. I'm not doing that. The As divisive as the movie is, the divisiveness is still like, again, not people that have actually like seen it. And I'm just gonna read like one. Um, this is Courtney Howard. I don't know who Courtney Howard is as a film critic, but
I know
she
Courtney
apparently
Howard.
okay. Well, she apparently writes for Variety as part of the LA Film
Hmm.
Critics, so she's like a serious critic. This is just one of several, but I mean, the level of praise in the review is something I'm looking at too. And she says Emerald Fennell's Wuthering Heights is a god tier new classic. Intoxicating, transcendent, tantalizing, bewitching, lust-worthy, hypnotic, expertly captures the breathtaking ache and essence of desire. Sandgren cinematography. Sandgren is the cinematographer from Dune Part 3.
Huh.
Linus Sandgren.
That's probably why it looks so pretty.
Interesting.
Spellbinding, Davies production design, sublime. So like this is someone not just saying this was a really good movie, but like really high on it. And there's several of those,
Okay,
and then
that
there's
is
several that are
interesting.
so. And there's people who said again, like Matt Negley of Next Best Picture, who went in with really no like in particular thoughts about it, fell for it. Someone else who said they were indifferent. So like, I'm like, I'm gonna take the big swing on this, and the beauty of it is if reviews come out next week and they become more lukewarm and I see the film, my official thing doesn't come out until mid March, so I can just put this off the
You have
list.
time.
If I was right, I get to say I was right back here, and if I was wrong, then I just get to like move on. So
Are you going to
that's
take it to the bank?
that's the real reason it's on my list. Wow, Wuthering Heights took up a good bit of our time. Let's move on to Val.
Okay, should I do my other my really this swing is pure cope. I don't actually think it will be in Best Picture. I think it could be nominated for other categories, but I would love it to be nominated for Best Picture. This director had another film this year that arguably should have been nominated for Best Picture. Um, so I am going to nominate Zach Kreger's Resident Evil movie because honestly, okay, The Last of Us film adaptation for HBO did really, really well. Video game movies are having a moment, and Zach Kreger is a really good director, and the Resident Evil lore is great. I love Resident Evil so much. I have a Resident Evil tattoo. So I am like ride or dying for this movie, even though I know it will probably not actually make the 10, but it would be really, really cool if it did.
Hell yeah.
So,
Let's get a genre flick in there. Let's get some horror
yeah,
in
like
there.
why not? You know,
Yeah.
Weapons was close. If this is as good as Weapons, maybe better than Weapons. Who
Weapons
doesn't
had
like
to
a good
compete
zombie movie? I
with
mean,
Frankenstein and Sinners for the horror
Yeah.
spots.
yeah,
So
it is in
Resident
like
Evil.
my very last spot, but I barely kind of shoved it higher on my list because I was like, you know what? I just want it to be there. So yeah, I'm guessing this is not on anyone else's
I do
list.
not have this on my list. I do not have this one on my list. When does this come out?
This is September,
September.
so it
Okay.
is later in the year.
Gotcha.
So who knows? We've got Zach Cherry in it. We've got Austin Abrams.
I do like Zach Cherry.
It
I
could be
do like him.
really fun. Who knows?
I think
Why
this
not Resident
movie
Evil?
is going to be really fun and it's going to be really cool and is destined to be on the Screen Age Wasteland Awards Best Picture list at the end of the year. I don't really think it has a sight unseen with nothing in the. I don't really know if it's Best Picture chances. like, you know, Weapons was already kind of far shot enough, and that almost got there. Um, but even that is like set in a. It's obviously not set in the real world, but set in a very comparable world to ours, where there's something weird happening in a small town. And Resident Evil is going to be set in Raccoon City, I guess,
Hey,
right?
Raccoon City is pretty much just like Gotham. It's pretty much a regular
So it's New
city.
York.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe it can surprise, but
Jersey.
it seems like even that would be crazy. It'd be like because it'd be like video game and horror. Um,
Ugh,
man,
I
the
just want
Academy
it
has
to
to really
happen.
Dare
open
I
their
say,
hearts.
Resident Evil has a better chance of getting nominated for Best Picture than Wuthering Heights.
Ooh,
Hot take.
that is a hot take.
You can take that to the bank and they won't deposit it because it's kind of a nothing.
Check has bounced.
Most likely neither gets nominated, but we can all at the end of the day say, well, Resident Evil was closer. So
Hey, this
Yeah,
was
right.
another fun thing we're talking about. We're
Yeah.
having discourse.
Right. No,
And-
I think we
yeah.
all here fully believe that we're own ourselves are like excited for Resident Evil. Unlike not everyone here is excited for Wuthering Heights, um but Wuthering Heights is a little bit closer to Best Picture's normal range than Resident Evil. If they put Resident Evil in Best Picture, that would be quite a success story. So we
It would
shall
be
we
fun.
shall see.
I think you would have to surrender pole position to Val if that
No.
happens.
Yeah.
No,
she would have to take
that's
over.
not what I wanted. Don't give me more responsibility.
Oh.
Okay. So we're on to Romona.
I also have a September release, and I feel like this particular period piece has more of a chance also of becoming Best Picture nominated than Wuthering Heights. That is Georgia Oakley's adaptation of Sense and Sensibility.
I almost
with
put this on my list.
Daisy Edgar Jones. Very excited for that one. Fiona Shaw and Georgia Oakley. I don't think she's done much. I think she's had one movie in 2022. But I know that the Academy likes Jane Austen. And I love the Emma Thompson Sense and Sensibility. I thought it was very well done. I'm excited to see how this one comes out. But it kind of has all the makings, I think, of Oscar bait, I hope. So we're in September. I think it's a little bit closer. We'll stay fresher in people's minds. I also think Daisy Edgar Jones is one of those actresses that's kind of like on the edge there of she's had a lot of good performances, but hasn't really like broken out of that yet. So I think that this might be the one.
Well, it
Hell
sounds
yeah.
like
Yeah.
several of us were close to putting Sense and Sensibility. I had it on my list until the first reactions for Wuthering Heights came out. Because
Come on.
Sense and Sensibility and Wuthering Heights, I feel like the odds that both of them are in the 10 that kind of would be weird. But no, for the same reasons that you mentioned. The director who I don't know well, but she directed the movie Blue Jean, which has great critical reviews. I know it was talked about
That's it.
as a small indie movie a few years ago, and so this is a really big step up for her. And this is one of those kinds of directors where you can see her stepping up on the big stage and like knocking it out of the park, and everybody going, "Oh wow, who's this kind of new director?" And Sense and Sensibility is a real easy
Love it.
property to see that happen. Specifically, I
Yeah.
think with Daisy Edgar Jones, She has that ability to be that kind of best actress in that conversation. And so if she leads this movie
Yeah.
well, I don't actually know anything about Sense and Sensibility other than it's a Jane Austen adaptation. Um, but so yeah, I think
I love
this
that movie.
has the period. It's got all the flares that it would need to if it's like really good to be in that best picture conversation. But it's also going to be probably a little bit more, traditional retelling
Yeah.
of a Jane Austen
Yeah.
thing. Whereas once I
Mhm.
saw the
No
reactions for
fingers in
Wuthering,
fish's mouths in this one.
once I saw the reactions for Wuthering Heights, I was like, I'm just going to go all in and choose this one because it's,
Yeah.
for better or worse, it is a unique, bombastic take on something. So um, anyway,
Yeah.
but Sense and Sensibility was like right off of my list, like just 2 days ago. Anybody else got Sense and Sensibility or thoughts on Sense and Sensibility?
No, didn't make my final list.
No, good pick though. I like
You.
it.
Thank
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Which is great because this is like we're picking some stuff that's really not on the radar of some other people. I'm very happy with the research everybody did. Good job, guys. Um, so that brings us to Raph once again.
Sweet. So, kind of a theme this round. We're going with female directors adapting beloved pieces of literature. I am, however, going to go with my queen. We mentioned her earlier. I'm a Barbie bro. Give me Greta's Narnia.
Greta.
I
Yes.
thought about this, and
Also in the blockbuster kind of competition realm, we'll say. So
I
like
thought
competing with
Narnia
Project Hail
wasn't.
Mary, competing with Disclosure
Yeah.
Day and The Odyssey, but like I don't know, like you can't bet against Greta at this point. Like she's given us three absolute heaters. So
I do love. Yeah. I
yeah,
thought
it is
Narnia was
probably
going to be a series.
it. I thought it was too, but I did see that it's coming out this December. I think.
wait, am I freaking
Okay.
out? Is it a series? I thought it was.
No, but
No, it's
there
a
was talk
movie.
of
It's
it
a
being a
movie.
series at one point.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
hadn't heard of it in a while, but
But
I
it's
know when she first was attached to it, it was going to be a series on Netflix.
now this isn't
Uh,
Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe. This is Magician's
this is the
Nephew.
Magician's Nephew. Gotcha.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Got it.
like it's been a while since I've read the books.
Ooh, Carrie
Um,
Mulligan's in this one too.
but
All right.
honestly, there's no way it's not going to be great.
Huh. Okay.
This
I do
yeah,
love Greta
so
Gerwig. I've loved everything.
it's absolutely fascinating to me. This is going to be Magician's Nephew.
Yeah,
And what makes me so I do not have Narnia on my list, which was really hard to leave off because it's just hard. That seems I mean, obviously it's Gerwig and it's a huge blockbuster. It could be in this space. I wanted to go out for on the branch for a few other things, so I left Narnia off. It's so hard, but it's
Mhm.
crazy that it's the Magician's Nephew, and it's pretty clear. It's not like Netflix went up to Gerwig and said, "Hey, do you want to do a Magician's Nephew for us?" It's
yeah.
clear that Greta Gerwig was
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I
Let me
think
do
Greta
Narnia.
Gerwig said, "Hey, I've had a lot of success. Give me money to do the Magician's Nephew." So clearly
And
she
they
had an
probably said,
idea for
okay.
what to do with this. Um, it's going to be really interesting to
Netflix, you
see.
already own my partner. Like all Noah Baumbach movies are direct to Netflix.
Oh,
So
yeah.
And for
Yeah.
Gerwig's, she said, and you're going to put it in theaters, or I'm not doing it. Um,
Good.
Yeah.
so they're doing theaters.
maybe
Um,
that's how she got the funding for this. Maybe she sold Noah Baumbach to Netflix and she was like, you guys can have all of their movies, all of his movies, but just give me, you know,
Yeah.
200 million bucks to
so
make this Narnia
I
flick.
get the idea that Val and Ramona that y'all have read these books. I mean,
Yes.
it makes sense,
I
Val. I know your
read.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have a fun story about that, but yeah, what were you gonna say, Ramona?
No, I was just gonna say I read the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe elementary school,
Yeah.
probably, but I haven't read any of the other
Yeah,
ones.
I
But
Okay,
didn't.
I
so
do
you
like
haven't
the
read
stories,
Magician's
so it's.
Nephew.
I've not read the Magician's Nephew, but I
Raph,
love Greta
have you
Gerwig. It's coming out in December, so it's like perfect for the holiday. I think it's going to be
Definitely.
big.
Raph,
Yeah.
have you read Magician's Nephew or any Narnia books?
I don't think so. I read Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in like
Yeah.
fourth grade. and I think
Yeah.
we read some of the other ones too, but I don't know. I can't remember.
So to be
It's kind of a while
clear,
Yeah,
ago.
it's one.
to
So
be clear, the Pevensies and the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe are not in
are
Magician's
they're
Nephew.
not.
It's
It is a
This is
prequel.
like
Yeah,
years before, and it's got like it's still got Aslan and the Witch in there,
yeah.
but it's like the creation of Narnia.
Yeah.
So like it's a very strange pick. But
Yeah.
Val has a
But
funny story.
sh-
So
she's made things work that should not work. Like Barbie should not be as like
Good
well made
as it
of a
is.
movie, as like
Yeah.
thematically deep and like cinematically interesting as it is. Like Little Women, like why would you make that? Greta Gerwig, like you made Lady Bird, you made this cool indie drama. Like why would you adapt this movie that's been adapted, or this book that's been adapted 500 times? And
Loved
then she
it.
did
but it's
something really
so
cool
good.
and
She's
interesting
so
with
good
it.
with
So
it.
like you know that she has like a specific direction, vision that she's going to be bringing to this. And again, like she's 3 for 3 right now. Like this is not someone who I would bet against.
Yeah. So my
Agreed.
quick fun story is that I read these books in college. I was actually my parents were so religious I was not allowed to read these as kids because they were too magic-y, fantasy-y for my Christian upbringing, even though they are very Christian books. Um, but The Magician's Nephew is loosely kind of the biblical creation story in some ways. So I just looked it up that Greta Gerwig was raised kind of like Unitarian Universalist with some like Catholic traditions too. So like she knows like what this is. Like she's not just
Yeah.
coming in it from like somebody who's completely removed from that tradition. And I actually think that kind of makes her more equipped to kind of handle this and portray the story in a way that's going to relate to a lot of people, a broad swath of people. So I agree with you, Raf, that I think she probably has like a very specific artistic vision. But like, yeah, I did think it was going to be Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I was surprised when I saw it was Magician's Nephew. But I do think it's still going to be good.
And also to be clear too, I my Christian my church, my Christian school was very like, oh, like Narnia, but then well, at least the school was like, yeah, Narnia. And then the uh one time we had a speaker though that came and had like the Narnia books in the back being like, these are of Satan. So I've had it both ways. So anyway, yeah, very interesting to see what Greta Gerwig does with that.
Yeah.
Just a real quick update on the tally. I've been trying to keep up with it, and I think everybody has done 8 movies except for Val is at 7.
Wait,
Um,
really?
I think Val has
Did
just
we have
had.
similar? Did we have the
I do
same?
have 3 left.
Yep, so that would be 7. So I think everyone else has
Dang.
gotten around to 8 through a mix of their own
Yeah, I have
talking
2
points
left.
and also
I've been too
uh
obscure.
but we'll see. Well, Val might just get a little extra bonus here at the end in a minute
That's all right.
when we get to it. So okay, so now it's Ramona's turn once again.
Raph just went, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
it's you.
Yeah, it's
oh,
you,
it's
Back
Jacob.
me.
to Val. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was lost there for a second. Okay, yes, it is back to
It's like
me.
I
Thank
just
you.
went.
um, okay, and my next one up, I'm going to do. I gotta
Let's
navigate
see
through
it.
here now.
What you got? Only 2 left. This is
Yeah,
big.
only 2 left. I guess I will go ahead and do, and this is a really easy pick. Right now, although it could be wrong. It's neon. It's going to be at Cannes. It's called Fjord. Um,
Yeah,
I
it's
did
got
hear about
Sebastian.
that.
I have
It's
that.
got Sebastian Stan and Renata Reinsve. Um,
Hmm.
I'm kind of. I specifically avoided sentimental value last year, and it bit me. So now I'm kind of like moping and like just going along with whatever neon's going to win can. Um, and right now it feels like Fjord, like Fjord is gonna win, and like it's like, oh, Fjord, it's like Norwegian. It's got Renata Reinsve. Sebastian. They released a photo from this, and Sebastian Stan looks like almost unrecognizable. Sebastian Stan is great, and we all want him to get
He
the
is.
celebration he
I would
deserves,
love
I
to see
think. And
him.
so,
Absolutely.
um,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. One bit of research that I didn't do is um the director of this, Christopher something. I can't. I don't know his last name off the top of my head,
Let me
but
pull it up real quick.
I don't really
It's
know.
Mungiu?
Yeah,
Mungiu?
yeah. I'm not familiar with any of his
Yeah,
work,
on you.
so I don't really have anything to go on, other than it's neon, and they clearly have set this with two of their top tier actors, and it's like been dead set and kind of like it's so solid. It's kind of hard to bet against it right now. So
Yeah.
that's the only reason I chose Fjord. There is another one that
Yeah.
could compete at Cannes that I don't have on my list that we'll get around to.
It looks like
Except
he's
Stan is
been.
bald in this, so he's going to be a Best Actor nomination.
Yes.
Guaranteed it.
Yeah.
Take it to the bank. It's going to happen.
Best lack of hair and makeup.
Beautiful man letting himself be not beautiful for a little bit. Yep. It's happening.
Well,
That's the
he's
secret
done that
sauce.
a couple of times
Yep.
recently because he just did A Different Man, where he took on
Oh, that movie was
um,
That
robbed.
was so good.
the disease, and even worse physical transformation became Donald Trump. So
he should have
Yeah.
been in over that role, I think, to be honest with you.
You might
I
have to cut
forgot
that.
about that. Oh man.
He's willing to let himself
just a little
be.
joke, guys. That's not political. That's not a political take. Okay.
Don't make fun of my
So
appearance. I'm very handsome. More handsome than Sebastian Stan.
I'm being triggered right now. Like I feel it just from that.
okay.
Way more
Anyway.
handsome than the Winter Soldier.
Does anyone else have Fjord?
I did.
don't. I just didn't add it just because I wasn't familiar with the director, but you
Yeah,
very well
I
might be
had
right.
I think I put together my list before like some of the press came out about this movie, but it seems like it has everything lined up
Going for it, yeah.
to be
It
something
seems
to fill one of those two like international movie positions.
True.
I'm also doing a really bad job in not like even describing the movie, but apparently, I mean, because let me just pull it up because there is a little bit known about the movie.
Yeah, we've all just been talking about like the people who are involved, which is fine because like it's still so early that like there's not a whole lot in terms of like plot synopses that
I
are
think it
that are
has
out.
to do with the family immigrant, like they're Romanian and they
Yeah,
moved
so
uh,
the film stars
yeah.
Sebastian Stan and Renata Reinsve as a Romanian Norwegian couple who face scrutiny after moving
Yeah.
to the wife's remote Norwegian hometown. um,
Apparently there's like a thing that people think that they're like doing abusing their children, and so they kind of have to deal with the justice system there. So
yeah, so
Like
I don't know.
Roma discrimination.
Probably
it has a
Can we still
it
say the
has a
G word? Is
very
that
the G word.
gypsies?
Yeah,
Romani is usually the preferred term, is my
Romani,
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah.
I
so
wasn't sure
yeah,
how PC.
it has the kind of it has the structure of an international film that would perform well
Yeah.
at Cannes, and it's neons seems to be a neon's pony right now, but that could change. So, um, so yeah, so that's number 9 on my list.
Yep.
I only have one left. Val, you've
Me
got
too.
3 left.
I know. I know. Okay. This one I feel like I have good defense for too, but it is another international film. Resident Evil is my one coat pick. I'm not going any weirder than that. But this one is from. It was actually already made as an animated film. This is a live action remake. It is not Moana. I'm not going to go there. But it is a film called Look Back. Um, it is based on the manga of the same name by Tatsuki Fujimoto, which is a very, very celebrated mangaka in Japan, most well known for Chainsaw Man. But the director for the live action is Hirokazu Koreeda, who I think won Palme d'Or in 2018. So
For
because
shoplifters, right?
for shoplifters,
That
yes.
movie's awesome.
So people are really keeping an eye on this because of that, because of his filmmaking experience. But it's about two manga writers, both female, and it's kind of a coming of age story. The animated movie is currently sitting at a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. From what I understand,
nice.
the story is very, very good. Um, so I saw some Oscar buzz about this on Reddit. So I mean, I don't know how much you could
Yeah,
trust Reddit,
there
but I would love to see this one get some love. It sounds like it's going to be really, really good.
there is some Oscar buzz behind this, and let me tell you my one big worry with this movie
Okay.
is that, like, because Look Back just came out, the animated one literally came out
Hmm.
this year. Um,
2024.
yeah, 2024. Sorry.
Hmm.
So as good as people say that movie is, I do fear it has probably a bit of a weeb boost that
That's
may or
fair.
may not translate to the live action getting into best picture. But that's from someone who hasn't seen the film to really say. And I do believe, I mean, I still haven't actually seen any of Koreada's work, which I've been trying to eventually rectify, but there's just a lot on the plate. But I, I this could be something that is really good and makes it in. But I do have some slight concerns. While we're on the
Mhm.
topic of Koreada, he has another movie coming out this year, which I don't
Oh.
necessarily think will be in the best picture race, but was in my top 26 most anticipated of 2026, which is called Sheep in the Box, which is
Oh,
also
I've heard of
in
this.
by Neon, about a couple who takes in like an AI baby, I think, which is like more
Oh,
up my
Interesting.
alley. So that's my gonna be my introduction probably to Koreada later this
oh
year.
my
But I don't
goodness.
know if that's a best picture
All
type
right.
film.
Sounds fun though.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to Raph.
Okay, we're gonna
Let's go ahead
skip
and do
Ramona.
Raph. We're gonna come back to Romona, but
Sorry, Ramona.
we're just
Fine.
Val, I like that your two international movies are Japanese.
They're both I guess I'm just a big weeb. I
Are
don't know.
we
Well,
allowed to
no,
say
because all of a sudden there's a French film actually.
are we allowed to say
So
the W word? I said the G word.
is weeb a slur?
I don't think it actually is.
I'm
I
gonna Google
don't.
that and
I
see.
thought it was just making fun of like white people for liking too much
Yeah.
Japanese stuff. Um,
No, it's all Westerners. Black people can be weebs too, and
okay.
I think
yeah,
Hispanics
that's
can as
true.
well.
Yeah, absolutely. Any
Okay, Western
Westerners.
people.
Yeah.
Yes, you're
So
correct.
the
Well,
Mexican
okay.
love for
Weeb
Dragon Ball
says
Z is crazy.
Weeb is someone who loves anime but hardly watches any anime as they are usually lazy and uninterested. That can't be
What?
you.
That's not
That's
true.
That's like an Urban
that's not
Dictionary
right.
definition.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
they're
correct.
just saying like, oh, they only watch Naruto and they haven't watched like,
And then
Erased. It's like, yeah, okay. I mean,
The reason
so
that
you're not a
we
WEAB, you're a WEEB, is what
yeah
you're saying.
I guess.
the reason that
Okay.
the reason that weeb is okay is because it's slightly pejorative towards people who make a culture that's not their own their whole identity.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Yeah.
it's not their culture. They are the ones that are
Yeah.
like making their identity someone else's culture. So yeah, that's
That is hilarious.
the difference.
I love it. Well, I don't
Man.
have any weeb movies in my last two spots. I'm gonna go with my wild card pick for number
Yeah.
9, and then I have two that I'm on the fence for number 10. Um, so this movie has been talked about for a while, and it might maybe potentially be coming out this year, perhaps premiering at the Cannes Film Festival. Who's to say? I read something kind of recently that this might be this filmmaker's last movie. And if you look at what the subject matter of the film is, it would kind of make sense for this to be the swan song for this particular director. I'm going with Terrence Malick's The Way of the Wind, which is a
Oh.
sweeping epic about the life of Jesus, but also about Jesus battling with Satan. Um, and Terrence Malick has apparently been like editing this movie for like almost a decade. We don't know if it's actually supposed to come out this year, but I saw something recently that it is expected to release
The way
at Cannes, and there is potential for it to be his last movie. So if that's the case, you kind of have to nominate it for Best Picture, right? Like
How did I not hear about this movie at all?
one of the best American
Probably
filmmakers.
probably because no one's really talking about it yet, Val, because
It doesn't
everybody's
exist.
only talking about it mutedly because it's been around, it's been in the hopper for so long. It's like, yeah, well,
Okay.
because The Way of the Wind might not come out this year, but
Yeah, World of Real
It probably will, but
posted
it might not.
November of last year saying it may never be released.
It may never be released. That's encouraging.
So who
Um,
knows?
But if it is released,
I hope it is released. That sounds cool.
and Raph's
Hot
most
smoking
anticipated book of the
Jesus.
year is The Winds of Winter. Um,
Ooh.
oh, Winds of Winter and The Way of the Wind. That's not a good
wait,
sign there, buddy.
I don't get the.
That's the next Game
The
of
Game
Thrones
of
book.
Thrones that
It's
he's
like
been taking like
never
20
gonna
years
come
to
out.
write.
I'm not a Game of Thrones guy. That's why I didn't get the
Me,
reference.
I'm not either, but I had to hear about
Yeah,
that.
I have all the other ones. I'm not counting on Winds of Winter.
Yeah, big on projects that aren't going to happen. My most anticipated sports event of the year is the Mets winning the World Series. So
Oh
yeah,
no. Oh.
kind of in
You're
line
a
with.
Mets fan. I'm so sorry.
Hey, I'm a Reds fan, so you're a lot closer than I am.
Just
That-
staying on theme
that-
of things that probably won't happen this year, but
No,
if
not
it
this year.
does, if it does,
It's not
But
gonna
The Way of the Wind is, I mean, I haven't seen any Terrence Malick movies yet, so I need to get on that at some point. It's on the list.
He did was it Boyhood? What was the one with
no,
Patricia
that's
Boyhood.
Linklater.
Boyhead was
He
Linklater.
did Tree of
Tree of
Life.
Life.
No, not
With Brad Pitt and
no, that's the
Sean Penn.
that's Tree of Life, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No,
He
I'm
did
thinking
The New World with Colin Farrell about Pocahontas and
Thin Red
John Smith.
Line.
He did The Thin Red
Oh,
Line, which
Thin
is
Red
great.
Line. I didn't know he did that one.
He did Days of Heaven. He did
I remember when the
Badlands.
Thin Red Line came out. Badlands.
Did Night of
Thin Red.
Cups.
Thin Red Line.
Okay, so Linklater did Boyhood.
Yeah.
Or this
Yeah.
one. I forget what it was called. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, he
I'm
did
thinking of the Tree
Amazing
of Life.
Grace. I have seen that movie.
Oh wait,
No, he was just he produced it. I was
gonna
like gonna
say
say, I was like, what?
that would be strange. I like the movie. Is that the one with
No,
Garofalo?
I liked it. It was the one where Ian Grufford played William Wilberforce.
Yeah,
It was all
that's
right.
what I'm. William Wilberforce is just like a very cool dude to learn about. So I liked it from that.
Yeah.
The movie itself is a little slow, but I mean,
Yeah, it's not
Wilberforce is
great, but it was okay.
Wilberforce is
fine.
my guy. So anyway, The Way of the Wind. Does anyone else have it on their list?
No.
No. And we'll see if it comes out. One of the hardest things about doing these is like what movies are going to come out and how could that shake up the race. One of the movies that's
Yeah.
left off of my list is primarily because there's rumors it won't come out. So that takes care of Raph's number 9. I'm trying to get us all. So I'm actually going to jump back to Val.
I'm so sorry.
And
Picking such
then
obscure
You guys
things.
take my last number 9. I'm gonna be furious.
No, I'm sort of okay. I have 2, and either of these could be on Ramona's list, so I don't know.
Okay, well, you know
So
what?
sorry. I'm just
I'll
gonna
get
go with
vetoed.
one.
I'll let Ramona go to
Yeah,
to
let
reserve.
Ramona go first.
I was just trying
No,
to
'cause
make
this
it
way
where
I
she
can just
didn't have to
think
sit there
I'm
as
done.
long.
Yeah.
It's all right. So my last pick, because I've already said the other ones, or you guys have chosen them, and I've had them too. I just went with just based on the popularity of the first film. I don't even know if this is technically a sequel, but I went with The Social Reckoning, Aaron Sorkin, as my number 9 pick.
Oh.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was like a sequel.
I see. I don't know if it is. It's
I think
Kind of.
it's just a new
Back when-
Facebook story,
It's
right?
a companion
Facebook-
piece, is what Wikipedia
Yeah,
says.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it like is what it is.
Spiritual-
Facebook engineer enlisted the help of Jeff Horowitz, a Wall Street Journal reporter, to blow the whistle on the social network's most guarded secrets.
Jeremy Strong playing Mark Zuckerberg.
Jeremy
Oh,
Strong, Jeremy Allen
that's
White,
good.
Wunmi Musaku from Sinners. who I love.
I love her.
So yeah, it
But
should be a very talky film. So
it's
I
being
feel like
directed by Aaron Sorkin, so it's
it
probably
is.
gonna suck.
It is. It's not. It's not. Yeah,
Hey,
but
don't
I
you
mean,
remember the
he's a good
golden days of the
writer.
West Wing?
He's a great writer. His script for The Social
Yeah.
Network is amazing. His script for
Yeah.
the Steve Jobs movie that Danny Boyle directed is awesome. Trial of the Chicago 7 is one of the most dog shit movies of the last 10 years.
I did hear that.
Didn't see that one.
Yeah, so that was not on my list.
Ooh, Mikey Madison is in this too.
Yeah,
so,
that cast looks great.
yeah.
Did
So
you
I
say
have
Mikey
two. I
Madison?
thought
Sure.
that
Mikey Madison. Yeah.
Supposedly she's like maybe the lead. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I think she's like the lead like whistleblower.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's
That
who
makes
she's
Yeah.
playing.
sense because Jeremy Allen White plays the reporter. So yeah, Mikey Madison, Jeremy Strong. And
I mean, I am drawn to
Jeremy
the
Allen.
whistleblower reporter aspect of that. I haven't seen The Social Network, which is another thing I need to
Oh,
rectify.
so good.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So, but
yeah,
It's all right.
the whistleblower reporter aspect like would be a cool like document process style movie, but that's like obviously something that Fincher would be really good at, and like
Oh,
not
Yeah.
something that like lends itself
Yeah.
to an Aaron Sorkin talky kind of movie. And again, his direction is just like it's so bad. He has no idea how to direct movies.
Yeah.
He's like an amazingly talented writer, but he has no idea how to
meanwhile,
direct something.
and I hope this doesn't blow the lid off someone's last pick. This would be kind of weird, but obviously David Fincher is funny because he's directing a Quentin Tarantino script, so everything's kind of misaligned.
Oh, the Cliff Boot.
The Adventures of Cliff Booth.
I don't know if anyone else has. I don't think that has anything. I don't think that's doing anything.
It will be interesting
Yeah.
to see if the Academy nominates like a biopic sequel. Like that would just be a weird like first.
would.
There's a quasi sequel to The Social Network that is still written by Sorkin but not directed by Fincher, and there's a quasi sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that's still written by Tarantino but not directed by Tarantino because it's directed by Fincher. It's just like a weird
It's just such a weird mesh of
conflagration of things.
styles.
Yeah.
It really is.
The Tarantino one, that's like a proper prequel, right?
Yeah,
don't
might be
Or
continued. I think it's the continued. I think it's after.
It's the adventures of Cliff Booth. So
Yeah.
it could be anything.
it would just be weird
think
to
it's-
see like obviously it's not called The Social Network 2, but it would just be funny for like The Social Network 2 to be nominated for Best Picture. Like okay, that's
That
how
would be
deep into biopics we are. We're making biopic sequels.
God.
It's kind
Biopic
of crazy.
sequels.
When are we gonna get All the President's Men Part 2? Two Presidents, Two Men, or something.
Two presidents.
Two Spot, Too Light.
Two presidents, too furious. I don't know.
Okay,
Stupid.
let's move to Val because Val still
Yeah,
is
so
on
I
her
do have
mind.
two left. I don't know what I'm doing, I guess. So this one I'm sort of surprised that nobody mentioned yet, but maybe I'm just really off base. I included Werewolf by Robert Eggers.
That was my number 11. I had that right off my
So
list.
I just if there's a Robert Eggers pick that I can pick on pole position, I'm just always going to do that because I think that Robert Eggers has yet to make a bad movie. And I think that Nosferatu got a lot of love and that people will be looking forward to this because of how good Nosferatu was.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe's in it again. We've got Aaron
Yeah.
Taylor Johnson again.
Yeah.
Could be
Lily
something.
Rose
We'll
again.
see.
This to me, this obviously has a better chance in my opinion than like Resident Evil, but
Yeah.
it's similar. It's similar in
Yes.
the sense that like I think everyone here is excited about it, and most people here probably don't think it will necessarily make the cut because my worry is it's going to probably follow the same track as Nosferatu. It'll probably get some of the same text and some of the same
A
love.
lot of
It
technicals.
also releases very late. It's another Christmas release,
That's
so
true.
it's going to be like the same pattern. And I don't know if an Eggers movie of this type can crack the Best Picture lineup releasing that late. I think if it had time to build up
When's it come
steam,
out? Christmas?
I think it comes out Christmas Day.
It
If
does.
it,
Oh, there's
and
my
I think
Christmas
that's
movie.
appropriate for the kind of movie that it's going
Yay.
to be, but I don't think it
Yeah.
necessarily lends towards its. I think Robert Eggers is going to get his due when he makes The Christmas Carol, which I have been on record like tooting the
That's
horn
gonna
for
be so
that forever with Willem Dafoe as
Yes.
Scrooge. And the Academy's gonna be like, this
I'm
is like
ready.
our jam here. It's a Christmas Carol adaptation. And Eggers is gonna do something a little different with it, I have to imagine. So,
Oh
but
yeah.
as far as Werewolf, I'm excited to see the movie. It'll probably be one of the best movies of the year. It'll probably be one of the most adored movies at the Wasteland, and I personally don't have it in Best Picture just because I don't trust the Academy to do that.
Did
fair,
Nosferatu get a
fair.
Best Picture, or did they not? Did it not?
I don't know if
No.
we got anything. Maybe
Not
maybe a tech, maybe a
nothing.
cinematography or
Oh no,
something. But
it got
like,
a couple of tags.
Yeah.
Yeah,
did it
it
get
got a
production
couple of tags.
design?
Let's see what Oscars
The set
Nosferatu got.
the set design for that movie is awesome. For me, Werewolf isn't on because like I thought like Nosferatu, like the quality of that movie as just like a period piece,
Yeah.
like that would have been the one to like break through for Eggers. And if that didn't break
Mhm.
through, then I don't know what will. Like maybe he's just too in his bag for the Academy to ever recognize, and like instead they'll recognize Aaron Sorkin or something
I
for
think
Trial of
I think
Chicago 7. But like,
Uh.
I think he'll come out
yeah,
of
if
horror more
Nosferatu
for
did it.
Christmas Carol. I think the horror element is a big part of it, and I also am not the I. There's a lot that I appreciate about Nosferatu. It didn't work for me all the way overall, but I love Eggers, and Nosferatu had so much going for it. I respected it. Um, Nosferatu received 4 Oscar nominations:
Yeah.
cinematography, production design, costume design, hair and makeup. So it got its love. It just did not crack Best Picture.
He's
And
the
Werewolf,
best period piece filmmaker that we have right now.
Yeah, I agree.
it's not.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Like first and
there shouldn't
foremost, he
be.
makes period pieces. He makes amazing
Yeah,
period pieces.
Yeah.
that's honestly not even that arguable. But um,
Yeah.
yeah,
We're never
that's
gonna
why
get his
Christmas
version of Wuthering
Carol.
Heights, but if we
That's when Christmas
did,
Carol is going to be freaking
Oh, that'd be.
awesome. And I'm so
Yeah.
excited for someone to bring the horror element to Christmas Carol like it hasn't really been brought before.
Christmas
Okay,
Carol is my favorite book slash story of all. Like I read it every year for Christmas. I have to
yeah,
watch the George Scott every year. Like it's my. I'm psyched. I'm really excited for
yeah,
it. I
me
hope that
it's
too.
going to
it's.
be
I
it's
hope
going to
it
be
lives
golden.
up to my expectations.
Okay, so now we've all got 9 except for Rona, who's done um until we all finish our tens. So I will start with my 10, and this was so hard because it's one of those things where there's so many bright ways to go, but it's so the Sundance Film Festival last year, we didn't think that anything was necessarily going to make the cut at the Best Picture lineup, and here came Train Dreams, and it went the distance. And so Josephine just won the
Mm.
Grand Jury Prize and the Audience Award at Sundance. So did Coda. So did Meanery. Um, and so did one other that they all made Best Picture. So did Fruitvale Station, which didn't make Best Picture. But it's it's a strong. I mean, it's a strong Oscar contender just on that alone. The film is about an 8-year-old girl who witnesses a sexual assault, and then the fallout of the parents trying to deal with that. And her parents are played by Channing Tatum and who else? I don't want to get it
Gemma,
wrong.
Gemma Chan.
Gemma Chan,
Yeah, I think
yes.
it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Channing Tatum and Gemma Chan, and apparently all very good. And this is just one of those films. It's by far and away the film out of Sundance that would make Best Picture. This isn't even a situation of like last year there was Train Dreams and Sorry Baby, where at the right now at this time it would have been like, which one would really make Best Picture? This is just going to be like Josephine or bust. So either Josephine is in or there's no Sundance movie this year. Um,
Oh.
and so based on that, I just went with Josephine um, because it feels like a little bit more sure-footed right now than anything else. So
Mm.
I'll probably keep it in there for a little bit. Um, Nobody else had Josephine, right?
Yeah.
No.
Josephine and Social Reckoning were my two cusp films.
Mm.
But also shout out to Brian Loomis, who was able to cover Sundance for the website,
Oh,
and I
nice.
believe he wrote a review of Josephine.
He
So
did.
folks should definitely go
Awesome.
check
Go
that
check
out
that out.
if they're interested in that
Yeah.
movie for sure.
Awesome. Okay, that leads us to how do we want to do this? Let's go to Raph now. Yep. Let's go
Cool.
to Raph.
So you guys got my two like 10 and 11 cusp movies, but I'll go to my number 12, which I actually think is kind of fun. Um, this is a movie that won't be nominated, but I think that it will be kind of messed up that it won't, especially considering all of the love that the Academy showed to Frankenstein from this year. But I think what is going to be the more fun interpretation of the Frankenstein story is going to be Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride. And it's probably not going to get
Yeah.
Yes.
nominated because the patriarchy
Yes.
is alive and well, even still in 2026. And it's a damn shame.
That would be like honestly a fun dark horse pick. Like I like, how the Substance kind of played a couple of years ago. Like I would love to see The Bride get some
Yeah.
love
I'm
out of
excited for
nowhere.
that one.
It sucks. It would
Yeah.
have been more fun if they came out in the same year so that
Oh
like
man.
we all could have done the thing of like, oh, the Academy picked the boring Frankenstein movie and really The Bride was like the cool, fun take on the story, which like I still do think that it probably will be a more interesting take
Hmm.
on the
Yeah.
story, even though I
Oh yeah.
That's probably
generally
true.
don't really love Maggie Gyllenhaal as a filmmaker. But
But Jesse Buckley again.
yeah, Jesse
Jesse,
Buckley, Christian Bale's
Mhm.
apparently
before
doing some
I
like fun stuff as the monster. So
yeah, before I realized that we were only supposed to do picture, I had put Jessie Buckley down as my pick for actress nomination for The
That would
Bride
be
for next
great.
year. She's just on fire right now, and yeah, Christian Bale's his New York accent in the trailer has got me intrigued. So I'm just like I'm really excited to see this one,
yeah.
and it's like on the front of every movie I've seen this year so far. So I'm just like I gotta see this. It's very intriguing. When does this come out? It's not that
I think March or April.
March. It's another
March.
March
Yeah,
Yeah.
release.
another
Yeah,
March movie.
we'll
Okay,
know more.
yeah. So
My
we'll
only
see.
thing is I've unfortunately like heard rumors of that this movie has not turned out very well. I was
Oh
definitely
no.
thinking it like I last year in my way too early predictions I had it on the list in several places because it was supposed to come out last year with
Oh,
Frankenstein
okay.
and I had the two of them both getting in and then it moved. So yeah, the fact that it moved from September one year to March isn't the first great sign. And then the other
Mhm.
bad, I mean, just I've heard some murmurs of bad reviews, and it might be that it's just divisive and not for everybody. But even that can keep a March film trying
Yeah.
to go to Best Picture is going to have a long road. Um, it could be as
I tend to
divisive or
love
worse
movies
than
that have
Wuthering
bad reviews.
Heights.
I'm good.
So
Yeah. Well.
we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see. But good pick, Raph. That's a fun
Mhm.
pick. It's got
I
style.
like that
There's
pick.
nothing you can't say that it has style. Um,
Mhm.
and Val, we have your last of your 10, and then we can get into the more like all the ones that didn't make the cut.
Yeah. Yeah. This was kind of um I was back and forth on adding this one. But I ended up adding, gosh, I don't even know the director, which is but starring Robert Pattinson and Zendaya,
The
The
Christopher
drama.
Borgle's The Drama I am
yeah.
having as my final pick. I think there's just a chance it could be kind of interesting. It is A24. It
Mhm.
could be the movie that A24 throws their energy behind. Um, we'll see. I watched the trailer. I thought the trailer was fascinating. We've got two really
Very
strong
intrigued.
leads, but this could end up being another like Die My Love where it kind of gets close and doesn't make the cut. Which is yeah, I think it depends on where A24 wants to put their money behind, but this was a possibility, so it's near the bottom on mine. Almost did not make it, but the drama.
Yes, the stock
I like
is
that
up
pick.
after the trailer. Um,
Yeah.
the teaser or whatever I think there was had not done as much for me, but the trailer is like more is pulling me in a little bit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that is it. Everybody, I think the drama has is another one of those that has the potential to be Sawy Screen Age Wasteland Awards.
Yeah, it feels more
Yeah.
sawy.
Sorry.
I think
Yeah.
this. I was just looking at the director. It's the guy who made Train Dream or not Train Dreams. God, Dream Scenario.
Mhm.
So with that and like the A24 and just like sort of looking at the premise, I haven't seen the trailer yet. I could see this one being something that gets like kind of weird and like off the rails and like feels like what we would consider like a classic A24 movie where it's like not for everyone, but if you're like kind of a sicko, you're into it.
Yeah. I think this is definitely going to be that kind of movie. I'm not going to spoil the trailer for you, but it takes a turn for
Yeah.
sure, and I think it could be divisive but
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always
It's
excited for a sicko movie.
Awesome. So guys, we've just gone through everybody's 10. Now we're gonna go a little bit faster because obviously we don't want to be here all night. Um, but we're gonna go through some of the other ones. Number 5 on the award expert app right now, which means that it's the like in fact it says 56% of users have predicted this movie to be nominated for best picture that we did not even
Yeah.
discuss in any of our top 10s. And it's the one that I left off because it may not come out this year now. The Entertainment System is Down by Ruben Ostlund, starring Kirsten Dunst.
hmm.
This is obviously the director of Triangle of Sadness. Um,
Yeah.
and he is coming back possibly to Cannes, but he recently said that it could be for this Cannes or it could be for next year's Cannes. So if it
Hmm.
doesn't, so if it misses the cut, if he doesn't have it ready for Cannes, they're going to hold it back a year. This is A24, so this is
Mm.
very interesting to me because it's like
Hmm.
A24 is trying to. A24 did not try and compete last year with Neon at Cannes, but they're doing it again
Right.
with the Ruben Ostlund film. Clearly, it's about a group of people on a long flight, and the entertainment system goes down,
Oh
which
no.
is very in Ruben Ostlund's um, uh, wheelhouse. Also, there was a quote about this from him that's kind of concerning and makes it sound like this could actually be unwatchable, where he's toyed with the idea of a 15-minute shot of some like kids just on their tablets with like no breaks, and just
This
like a
is
film
this
where
is
you're just
I
stuck
see that at
watching.
home every day. I don't need to go to the
And
theater
I'm
and watch
like
see,
that.
this might be
that,
sorry.
along with the fact that it might not come out this year. That was the other thing that lowered my stock. Where I'm like,
Oh,
this might be a director who is trying to do things that are like subversive to a fault and thinks that it's
yeah.
cool
No.
when it's like you actually need to like not waste 15 minutes of my time um
Yeah.
on that. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in the Triangle of Sadness hater club. I like
Yeah.
really despised that movie. I came out of that movie going like I wasted my time. And that like very rarely happens that I have like that
Hmm.
strong of a reaction.
y'all seen,
So I don't know. I'm not an Austerlin believer.
has
I
anyone
like
seen
Triangle of
Help?
Sadness, but I see him as someone who like he's not making movies that like every time they come out they're going to be in Academy conversations.
Yeah.
I think Triangle
Mm,
of Sadness came out at the right time for like when we were like really hungry for eat the rich kind of movies, right? Like it was like
yeah.
that in the menu and things like and
Yeah.
like Glass Onion that were coming out around the same time
Yeah.
and it kind of just like hit the culture like when we needed it. And I don't think that his style of filmmaking is something that like every time he makes a movie, people are gonna be excited for it. I think Triangle of Sadness was like a one-hit wonder, so to speak, for him.
Yeah.
And even
Ooh.
that, right? Like it didn't work for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Did anyone here
Not
see
a
Send
fan.
Help yet?
Yes. I wrote the review on Send Help, and it is. I
Okay,
was going
yeah.
to say, if you want Triangle of Sadness but
I
good,
love Send Help.
go see
I
Send Help.
love Send Help.
It's like
Actually, my
Sam
husband just got
Raimi.
home from seeing Send Help.
It's like Sam
It's
Raimi
so
watched this
good.
and
Love
was like, let's do just the island
I could
part
do
and then
this
also make it
better.
insane.
You know,
It is
Triangle of
so
Sadness is cool, guys.
good.
I
No.
like Triangle of Sadness, Raph. I like especially the island. Like, I still enjoy. I really love
It's
the
better than the
whole.
menu.
I
No,
think
I'm pro the menu.
I'm
I
probably.
love the menu.
I will say
Loved it.
the Triangle of
I'll
Sadness
fight you guys after. I'll debate you guys
when
after
the
about the menu.
captain
Triangle of Sadness.
when the captain talks about he's the captain and she's not, and she says where's the boat, like that just kills me. Like I think about that a lot. Um.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Just
Let's just
randomly.
uh, Raph. I know you have still some honorable mentions because you said you had a list of 17. Throw one of those out.
Yeah, I don't think that they're actually anything that like will be nominated, but more so movies that I think will be cool. So I'll mention two. I'll mention Mother. I think it's called
Mother
Mother.
Mary.
Mother Mary. Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, thank God. I
The
was like,
David
wait.
Lowery movie. Starring Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway has a
Yeah.
loaded slate this year. Like
She
our,
does.
our queen is back in a big way.
Yes.
Big year for the
Very
Hathaway
excited.
heads, your boy included. I don't think that this is like subject matter that the Academy will recognize, and like David Lowery's like a pretty weird filmmaker, but it would be cool to see something like that get nominated. The other one that I think premiered at Sundance that people seem to like, and obviously Ethan Hawke is coming off of a nomination for Best Actor in Blue Moon this year, but apparently The Wait is kind of cool. It's more like suspense, thriller, actiony kind of vibes, but he like produced it and is apparently like really good in that too. So that could be something that kind of sneaks in and has some conversation. But I think those are like the two main
Yeah.
ones. There's also something Paper Tiger. I think that's the one with Adam Driver.
Yeah, I looked at that, adding that
And
to my
Miles Teller,
list.
Is
Raph.
that Adam Driver and Miles Teller?
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Yeah.
Miles Teller?
Okay,
Yep.
you had me at Adam Driver and you lost me at Miles Teller.
I think
Yeah, I
that
literally
think
didn't
that's-
add it because of Miles Teller.
And I think isn't Scarlett Johansson in that too?
Scarlett Johansson, yeah.
Am I-
Okay, well now I'm back.
Yeah. See? Oh my
But
god.
that's like a crime thriller, right? So that would like
Yeah.
really
Yes.
have to pop in order to be in. But it also
Yeah.
seems
Yeah.
like something that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, the director is known for Ad Astra and The Immigrant.
Mm,
I haven't seen either of those, so
No.
people
really
really
speak.
like Ad Astra. Didn't work for me.
yeah.
Kind of like the menu.
You're wrong.
Val and Ramona, do you guys have a lot of honorable mentions, or do y'all just
I
want
just have
me
one.
to? Okay, go with it, Val.
Yeah, I toyed with adding to my list The Dog Stars, the new Ridley Scott movie. Is coming out this summer. I saw that starring Jacob Elordi and Margaret Qualley. It seems
do
like
like
it's
Margaret
another though kind of post-apocalyptic sci-fi kind of movie, and I didn't end up adding it because it seemed like we already had a lot of sci-fi and it might
Yeah.
get pushed out, and because Ridley Scott, like, what didn't he do? It wasn't his last movie The Last Duel, and
The
that was
last one
like,
was awesome.
Oh yeah.
But then
Gladiator
I'm
2
House of Gucci
and
came out like a month
Napoleon.
later,
yeah, so
which is
like I
psychotic.
was kind of like, this guy's kind of hit and miss right now. I don't know. And I also like he uses the exact same alien name from Mass Effect, like just the exact same one. And I was like, come up with a new one, dude. Like,
Right.
just come up with a new
Maybe
name.
he forgot.
You can't make your
He
aliens
used it
the
already.
Reapers again. Like,
The
no.
Dog
Come up
Stars
with a new
is
one.
apparently an adaptation.
Okay, well,
Apparently,
I'm mad at
um,
anyway.
yeah.
I'm staying mad.
To
Justified.
be fair to Ridley Scott, it may have been someone else's choice, and Ridley Scott may not even
Whoever's
know Mass
choice.
Effect is. Anyway,
Oh, we had
but that's a
Napoleon
cool.
too. Sorry.
Yeah, that movie
That's a
was
cool
stupid.
pick. A lot of people don't think that is like a. I think it could be though. I think it could be a very surprise. Like, what the hell? Like, this is like really good. But it's kind of under the radar. Ramona, did you have any others?
No, the only ones that I had were already discussed. I had the drama The Bride and Mother Mary. actually.
Cool. Well, then
But I
the
think
rest.
that's more towards like Anne Hathaway's performance more than the overall movie. So
Well, apparently it's going to be very, very weird, and I'm into that from David
I'm good with
Lowery.
that. Yeah.
But it's possible that it's just a complete mess, and so I definitely wouldn't. It's really risky to bet on that. um, okay, so I'm just going to then take the reins and just go through some and get
Go
comments, and
for
that'll
it.
be easy lightning. So one that I'm surprised, maybe Raph. I don't know how you feel about this guy. Maybe I'm wrong, but Boots Riley has I Love Boosters coming out. We just got a
Oh,
really cool looking trailer. Another director that looks
I
like
feel
they're
like we
very
just saw
much
that.
doing whatever they want and just like throwing convention to the wind and just being like, this, I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah,
Um,
he's awesome, but he's way too bombastic of a filmmaker for the Academy.
that's the reason I did not include him because like Boots Riley, like not to get into the politics of it, but he is a communist. And his movies kind of reflect that ideology for the most part.
Mm.
Like Sorry to Bother You certainly did. So what I'm saying is he's way too like hipster cool
He's too
for the
radical.
Academy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Sorry to Bother You, and I didn't know what to think about this one going into it, but the trailer looks really
It's going to
cool.
be an awesome movie.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
it's going to be incredible.
like the Academy, like, no, the Academy's not going to be about it at all.
Everyone should go watch I'm a Virgo on Amazon, by the way. Underrated. Also from Boots Riley.
Also, apparently coming out this year, Cry to Heaven by Tom Ford.
I've
So
heard
it's
of
the
that one, yeah.
latest Tom Ford movie. It's got Nicholas Holt, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Adele, apparently,
Adele?
Kieran Hines, Colin Firth, Paul Bettany. It's just I don't really know what Cry to Heaven is about, and I don't feel like I need to necessarily spend time looking that up right this moment.
Apparently
But
it's a historical drama. That's
I
all we
think this
know.
will come out this
Yeah.
year, but it's not like clear if it will come out this year. We just don't really know much about it. But it is number 16 on Award Expert. Um, I don't know if this is coming out this year, but this is listed at 17. The new Martin Scorsese Untitled Hawaiian Gangster Project starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson,
What?
Leo, and Emily Blunt. I don't know that that's coming out this
Ugh,
year,
come on.
but it's
Good lord.
Scorsese, and
I'll always
it's
show up at the theater for Scorsese.
and look, I don't, we've talked about The Rock. Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt have good chemistry, and if Scorsese thinks they fit the roles, I mean, maybe it'll work. I don't know. Leo's in it again. Scorsese, it's hard to bet against. There's a movie called 1949. I don't know if that's coming out, but apparently Sandra Hüller's in it. I think that one looks like it might be coming out the next year. It's international. Okay, here's one that we really do need to like just kind of talk about though. Danny
The Jimmy
Boyle.
Stewart biopic.
Yeah, I
Yes,
was
Jimmy
wondering if you were going to
Stewart.
bring this up.
Um, Danny Boyle has Ink, which is the starring Guy Pearce, the rise of like Rupert Murdoch
Oh,
biopic.
interesting.
Um,
Okay.
so in terms of serious biopics about kind of
Oh, Jack
serious
O'Connell's in that
subjects,
too.
apparently also has Jack O'Connell and Claire Foy. Again, this is one that we
Yes.
don't know that much about, but that's got to be on the
Yeah.
radar
Yeah.
as a potential thing. We've already briefly discussed the Adventures of Cliff Booth. Doesn't sound like any of us are that excited about that.
Danny
Um,
Boyle's so hit or miss.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
I didn't love 28 Years Later. I really enjoyed The Bone Temple, which almost all of us seem to be doing. Um,
Yeah.
there's this is another one where I don't think it's coming out this year, and that's why we're not talking about it more. The Memory Police, which is an adapted screenplay, adapted from a book, but the screenplay I think is from Charlie Kaufman, and it would be starring Lily Gladstone. So whenever
Okay.
that comes out, it would be a player, something to keep your eye on. Another one that's very
Huh.
interesting, Being Human, spelled Heumann, which is another biopic about um, I don't know her name off the top, and it's not easy. So, but obviously her last name is Human, a disability advocate. But this is from Sean Heder,
Oh, right.
the
Oh.
follow up to Coda,
Yeah.
So this is a biopic or a semi biopic about a disability advocate who changed some things. And there might I recently heard there might be a more exciting element than that to this, but I'm not sure what it is.
Hmm.
So I don't really have a lot to say about it. Does anyone else know any more about this movie?
I hadn't heard about this at all.
I heard I heard about it um while I was researching, and I know that she took over some building for like 28 days
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
until she
So
it's a
yeah,
San
I think
Francisco's
that
federal building
yeah, that's it. The
for
federal building
accessibility
to try to
laws.
get
That's pretty cool,
accessible.
honestly.
Yeah.
I think that will
Yeah.
be a part of it. No one's necessarily jumping up because just because Sean Heder is a Best Picture winning director that her next movie's got to be in Best Picture, considering her other movie was Coda. But this does star also Mark Ruffalo, Dylan O'Brien, among others.
Hmm.
Ruth Madeley plays the main character, and she's an unknown. Um, Death of a Salesman adaptation starring Jeffrey Wright and Octavia Spencer.
That could be
Um,
Okay.
really good, honestly.
Yeah.
yeah, and this
Do we
is
know
like
who's directing?
Chinonye Chukwu.
Not
The name
I
familiar.
sounds
don't
kind of
I don't
familiar.
I don't know anything about that.
But those are two great leads.
Yeah,
They are like yeah. I mean, the fact that Jeffrey Wright is in it gives me pause. I mean, Jeffrey Wright is amazing.
yeah. I'm looking to see.
Octavia Spencer.
Yeah, and he's due for for an Oscar. So
For sure.
that could be one where he gets the nom and then the movie kind of follows along.
Okay, so it looks like Chinone Choku did Till back in 2022. I did not see Till, so I'm not really sure. It looks like he also did Clemency. I heard about Clemency, but most of these it looks like she only has four or no, five full-length credits. So, I mean, still relatively new.
Also, Tony Kushner is attached for the
Okay.
adaptation, so that's important to note. So yeah, that's a
Yeah, that's a
player.
big
One that's sticking around that I don't know. I do have so the Rivals of Amziah King. I don't know if y'all remember that was the Matthew McConaughey flick
deal.
that kind of showed up at South by Southwest, I think it was, and
Hmm.
then people were like, "Oh, this is great." It never got distribution, and now it's going to be released this year. There's a supporting actress in that, Angelina Lookingglass, who's like Native American, who apparently really impressed people. I think that might be like a lone nomination type deal for that movie, but some people think it could be. Um, Moving on though, Luca Guadagnino is back with a movie called
Again.
Artificial, about um, what's his face at OpenAI. It's an AI
Oh,
movie about AI, starring Andrew Garfield, Yura Borisov from Anora, Jason Schwartzman, Cooper Hoffman's in this. Um,
We got to pump the brakes on biopics.
yeah, there's
it's
too
it's a
many.
it's a biopic filled year, and it's kind of that's where like so many of these are left on the
We
wayside
haven't even
because like
talked about the Jimmy Stewart biopic.
Rob
nowhere near
Riggle, Best
best
Supporting
picture.
Actor.
Right.
Lock it in.
Um, and speaking
Right.
of biopics, again, there's an Anthony Bourdain biopic starring Dominic Sessa.
Feels
Um,
too soon.
Oh my
Just gonna
god!
say it.
Like, why?
I don't think
we
Anthony Bourdain would like it. I think he would probably say have some coarse words for a biopic being made about him.
We have thousands of
Absolutely.
hours of media with Anthony Bourdain that we
Yeah,
can just
just
like
go watch No Reservations for like the 18th time. It's a
yeah
great show.
we don't we just don't need a biopic. It's not going to reveal anything interesting about Anthony Bourdain as a figure, and it's like not going to be an interesting story.
Yeah, that
Mm-mm.
I know
makes me
that's
upset
yeah,
actually.
and
not the point of
that's
this exercise, but
I think that's A24. A24 also has oh, it was on the tip of my tongue and I just lost it. I'll circle back around. Um you might be excited about this one, Raph. I know that I think this is in so director Lee Chang-dong has a new movie, Possible Love, coming out. Um, I think it's with
Haven't heard of it.
Netflix. He did Burning, and some other
Oh, I
things.
haven't
I'm
seen
not
Burning, but
familiar.
everyone loves it. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then there's also Saturn Return by Greg Quidar, who did Sing Sing and was also involved in Train Dreams. So,
Okay, that'll probably be
but it's
good.
and this is starring Rachel Brosnahan and Will Poulter. I think it's. I
Oh,
mean,
I love
the
Rachel Brosnahan.
Charles Melton's in it. So and I think this is kind of like there's like a basic synopsis of like two people in love over a period of time. So it's like nothing really to go on. That's why I didn't really say more about it. And then some of the folks here would be excited to know um, Jane Schoenbrunn has Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma coming out.
Yes,
Um,
inject it
so
straight into my
far,
veins.
so far she has not broken out. They have not broken out into mainstream and anywhere near Academy love, and probably will not this time. But
No.
you never
That
know
One of the
would be
most
when it
exciting
disappointing.
may
directors working right now, though.
Yeah.
happen. So that's really, I mean, I think that's pretty clear. Also, Damien Chazelle is working on a movie about two prisoners, starring like, I think it's Ray Fiennes. If that movie comes out this year, it shakes up the whole thing because a Damien Chazelle movie, it's got to be in the conversation, especially if it has Ray Fiennes in it.
Oh yeah.
uh, and that's really, I mean, Taika Waititi's got Clara and the Sun with Amy Adams. Um, there's still a lot
Two
of stuff
people who
out
have
there.
lost a lot of goodwill with the
Oof.
public for kind of different reasons.
Yeah.
But it's an exciting year. It's crazy that we're going so far down the list and still being like that really has potential, and that's not even to think about all the stuff we don't know about. And it is only
Did you
February the
also
5th.
see that
Go ahead.
T West is doing their own version of A Christmas Carol this year?
Yeah, and I'm not interested because of Johnny Depp as Scrooge,
Yeah, it's a
right?
weird, wild choice for sure. Yeah, I
Like
just thought that
I
that was
would
so
be.
wild.
I'm also not
Sam
interested
Clapp and Ian
because
McKellen's in it. I mean, we got some big Tramal Tillman. No,
Oh,
and look,
I
I
love
like
him.
Pearl and X, and so
I
I
did
mean I
too.
would
Yeah,
be interested, but the other problem is I know Robert Eggers is making Christmas Carol, so I don't have
yeah,
any ability to get up for this rendition. Robert Eggers is making the Christmas Carol with Willem Dafoe as Ebenezer Scrooge. I don't. How am I
yes.
supposed to be excited about Johnny Depp? I
So,
mean,
so I am curious, like actually not memeing. Like, is there any chance that the Jimmy Stewart biopic gets anywhere near any awards whatsoever?
No,
no,
no. It looks
and I don't.
it,
I don't even
it
know
looks
that.
like a 30 Rock cutaway joke. Like more and more of our current day media just
I mean,
feels
life is
like
30 Rock.
a 30 Rock cutaway
I mean,
joke.
it's a small studio doing it, a very small studio. So
Yeah. Um
I think they were just
No.
hoping with the name recognition that they could get out there. But KJ
yeah.
And I
Appa
don't.
as Jimmy Stewart is a wild
That
casting choice.
The Rob Riggle jump scare in that trailer will like forever be one of my favorite moments in any movie trailer in the
Oh
history of
my
time.
god, so
I
funny.
don't even
The
know
whole
that it's
time
a
you're watching, you're
bad.
like, what the hell's going on here? And then Rob Riggle shows up and you're like,
it's like, oh shit.
Jesus.
The problem with the movie is that it seems like a pretty good impression of Jimmy Stewart, but it can't rise. It's like it's going to be an impression. There's
Yeah.
no there's no way to make it like
I don't
seem
find
lived.
him charismatic whatsoever at all.
I
Yeah.
also
So
don't
I'm not
know.
excited for that.
I don't know if I've seen Jimmy Stewart outside of the movies that he's in, but it feels like Jimmy Stewart playing himself as a character rather than just
But I like that.
Just being Jimmy Stewart. the person that he
He knew what
probably.
he was good at.
No, I mean, I think you're taking that the other way than what I'm saying. I'm
Oh,
saying
you
it
mean the
seems like
actor? The
the actor's performance seems like Jimmy Stewart is
Gotcha.
playing a character in his own life rather than
Yeah,
just
I see what you're saying. Okay,
than
yeah.
being just existing. It feels like I don't know. Did Jimmy Stewart talk that way full time, or did he have a slightly different cadence when he was
I mean, when I saw
not?
him in what was it like? I can't even remember. I feel like he doesn't talk that way in every movie. Maybe I'm
Mm.
making that up, but like I'm thinking of a specific movie, the one where they're on like the plane in the desert that's crashed and they have to rebuild it. He doesn't talk that way in that movie.
I mean, it just
I'm
feels like there
sorry,
has
I
to be
don't have more
some.
information.
It just seems like there has to be some subtle difference between the way he talks and like "It's a Wonderful Life" and the way he just talked like every day on the street. I don't know. It just doesn't
Yeah,
feel right. It feels a little bit played up to a degree, and so then
Yeah, yeah,
so.
yeah,
Well, this was a really fun conversation. It'll be exciting to look back and see how wrong we all were once again. I
except for me.
cannot, for the life of me, get better than 30% accuracy on these things.
Aw,
So for February 5th, we'll see how good these do. Um, and that was a lot of safe picks last year. So what do you know?
nice.
Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for listening. If you're still here, we do this as much for ourselves as for you. But we're so glad that you came and listened. If you did, and leave a comment below. We probably still left out something that you think we should have talked about because it's just that early in the year. So let us know you were here. Leave your mark. Join the conversation with us, and we will see you next time on Pole Position.